Hello and welcome back to the 2025 Junior World Championships. We move on to our second race of this championships, to the individual sprint, where the orienteers are going to be racing around this town of Chembra. You can see on the hillside, it's an absolutely gorgeous setting for the 5 races that we will cover over the weekend. We've already had our sprint relay with Czechia taking the gold medal there. Will they be on for more medals throughout the rest of this competition? We will be live then with you, myself, Catherine Bett, and my co-commentator Bruno Nazario for the next few hours, bringing you the start of the men's and the women's competition, running next to each other. So we'll try and see if we can spot the winners around the courses today. It's going to be hard to do so. They're not seeded start lists, so our winner could come from anywhere. But we've got a couple of cracking courses lined up for you today, and you'll be able to see between all these houses, these small little alleyways, just what a challenge it is going to be for our juniors, and what fantastic orienteering is going to have to be done if you want to take a medal today. At the moment, 26 degrees, you could say, going to warm up into the mid-30s again. So the athletes will be very glad to have a morning race as opposed to an afternoon race like they did yesterday with a sprint relay. And this is an aerial shot of the arena, actually, as well, in the trees, all very compact alongside the street. They've also got kind of an arena passage as well, as you can see there, running through, and we will let you know the courses, the maps as well. The men, as you can see there, 3.3 kilometers, 115 meters of climb. It is a hilly sprint course, much like yesterday's. An estimated winning time kind of 13.5 to 14 minutes. A nice little atmosphere building at the finish. For the women, it's a little bit shorter, 2.6 kilometers, climb 105 meters. And again, that estimated winning time about the same, 13.5 to 14 minutes. And I can tell you, we are already faster than that from the runners out there as well. Let's have a look at the course map. We'll start then with the women's. Bruno, why don't you take us through it?
Yeah, this is such a fantastic courses here in Chembra in Italy. As you can see, this will be much more about really navigating well between the controls. There are so many decision points in each of the legs. You really need to pay attention to your navigation more than just the route choices. But on this mid part, there are so tricky route choices that will use the canopy. You need to pay attention to the artificial barriers there, especially on that area between control 8 and 9. And then we have the arena passage and the map change. This is for the women. So they will only stay on this very intricate area. And at control 14, we have a TV2. And then a really nice leg here from control 15 to 16 with that artificial barrier. There are so many ways to do that control. The best so far is just to run back and use the big roads south from the line. And then a longer leg, easier leg into the finish for this 2.6 kilometers course in the women's class. Again, the expected winning time by Arangayo, the course setter, was 13.5 minutes, but at the moment we have already 12:52 for Emily Atkinson. As for the men, I would say that's easier starts. The start of the women, it's more tricky, those first controls. And then same type of navigation, really intricate. Using the narrow streets, you need to navigate quite well between the controls and choose easy lines to not get caught stopping and missing some of the small roads. On this type of terrain, sometimes you just take your eyes from the map for 5 seconds and all of a sudden you really don't know where you are. So it's going to be a good challenge. For the men, they will go into this southern area, more residential area, big blocks, but still a nice leg here from control 14 to 15. There are 2, 3 route choices possible. They are all quite similar, but the runners can speed up here a little bit before heading out again into the tricky area for those last controls before the finish.
Yeah, it's really fast and furious. There are so many controls. And obviously, we've got the men's and the women's race running at the same time. There's loads of controls out in the terrain, in the city. I mean, it's going to be yeah, it's going to be a lot of runners running over the top of each other. Some collision worries maybe for the runners. This is the start list then, and of course we don't. It's not seeded, but the I think I'm right in saying, Bruno, the countries can kind of decide who they put in each of the slots.
Yes, each country can decide. They can put two runners out of six in each of the blocks. So you have an early block, middle block, and a late block, but you don't have mandatory to put the best runners in the end of the start list. So, yeah, for us, it will be a challenge. We never know. Maybe the world champion has already arrived, but we'll see.
We will see.
That
Who are
would
the
be a good
favourites then?
question for you, no?
It will,
For
it
you?
will. Who, especially as a Brit, seeing Emily Atkinson in the lead at the moment. But who are your favourites for this race?
Well, we in the women's class we always have to talk about the reigning world champion Eli Punto. She was world champion last year together with Michaela Novotná. She's not here due to injured. But yesterday we saw some really good performances by many runners. Saline Sandvold had that problem with the control, but she's one of the names. Rita Maramoroshi always up there. Henrietta Radzikowski, Alva Bjork winning that photo finish sprint. And then a name that I want to throw up there that is Ilza Jumike from Latvia. She was the fastest on the last leg of the sprint
Yes.
relay yesterday. So she's one of the names that we really need to take care of.
Yeah, absolutely. We will watch out for her. I spotted that one as well. Just yeah, just going through the results from the sprint relay, trying to figure out who's gonna be the ones to watch. So as we keep ticking down the start list, lots and lots of names. We've got 162 women on this start list. We've got slightly more men starting, 181. And we will start to look at the men's start list, I think, next. Who are the favourites in the men? Because we don't have the defending champion, Mathieu Bura from Switzerland. He's injured. So who are your favourites for the men's competition?
Yeah, so Mathieu, unfortunately, is not here. He was probably the man of the championship last year. So, due to injured, he will not run. But yesterday we saw good performances. Loic Berger, the bronze medalist from last year, was running really well. We didn't talk about the Slovakian, Filip Jancic, and he's also one of the strong contenders for today's race. And a big shout out for Jonas Fenner Ingerts. He was the one bringing Norway again into the medal contention yesterday. He did a fantastic third leg for the Norwegian team.
Yeah, he was very, very strong. And it seems like most of the teams, I'd say in the kind of middle, or at least the third quarter, is where we're going to see a lot of the big names, I think. And do you think the heat has played a part in where the coaches have wanted to place the athletes, whether they put them in the early, middle, or the late slots?
Yeah, most likely yes. But if you look onto the men's start list, I would say that the biggest favorites are toward the end of the start list. So here, I think we can expect that the winner will come from the last guys to start. One of the last, Filip Jancic, like we told you, is one of the last starters today. Then also Antoine Rehlo, but Thomas Urbanek also starting on the last start block. David Baumberger from Switzerland. So in the men's class, it seems like, yeah, we have the best guys starting toward the end. As for the women, at least in paper, I think most of the favorites will start on the middle start block. So I think within 1.5 hours, we'll have the best runners out there running.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll be able to spot them. As you've seen on the maps, we have those two TV points partway through the courses. We'll be able to catch up with them. We'll show you some of the GPS tracking as well, because actually people have already been making mistakes out here. We've seen some mistakes from the GPS tracking already.
Yes, again, this is an area where in the sprints, normally you say, okay, it's about route choices and really being ahead of your navigation. So you want to get to the control and already have the next leg completely sorted out. But on this terrain, in some parts where it's so tricky, if you take your eyes out of the map, you can easily not know where you are and then make big mistakes. So you really need to pay attention to your navigation.
Yeah,
And we were
absolutely.
talking about how good it looks on paper and how we would really want to run this before the
Oh,
commentary.
yeah, we haven't had a chance to run it, but it looked, I mean, just the number of controls as well. So we're waiting for Avina Pelika to the finish, the Finn, the current leader in the women's class. As you mentioned there, Bruno, is Emily Atkinson from Great Britain. It's her first year as a junior. She did such a good job in the selection races. She's a really, really fast runner, and she's really shown, shown a great performance with very few mistakes. But this, I think, is going to go and be the new leader then here, Vina Pelika
Yes, yes.
from Finland.
Yes, so Vilma Pelika, she was 10th on last year's Junior World Orienteering Championship, and right now into the finish, into the new best time, and the time is already below 13 minutes, so 12 minutes and 46 seconds for her. She's right now 5 seconds faster than Emily Atkinson. It's a really good race for Emily, and I may say that also really good race for Leonor Ferreira, the Portuguese, right now into fifth spot. So this is really good to see for me.
Yeah. This is Arthur Perrin, who is the current leader in the finish on the men's class. Just doing a little replay of that one for you. Again, quite close to the winning time already, 13:44 for Arthur Perrin, who was actually down in a couple of seconds down on some of the other runners at the early stages, managed to catch back up again. But this is the view then at the start. We're with Yi Yao Liang from China on the right. And this is Minna Vingsted from Norway on the left, ready to start. You can see the start gates there that they push the little bar out of the way. That does their start time. And it's really been interesting already to see some of the athletes going out of the start and how, with what speed and what intensity and just how much they're looking at their map, because it's actually so complicated out of the start.
And you know who's Mina's father is, right?
Yeah, Emil Vingsted.
So she has the genes of a really good sprint champion.
She does indeed. Okay, catching up here.
Yeah. So now you can understand what we were talking about. This is so much about the navigation. These small hesitations will pay a lot in the time, much more than you just taking a not suboptimal route choice. So even if you don't take all the right route choices, and I can tell you that I was looking on the GPS of Emily Atkinson, she was picking all the right route choices except for one, but still her execution was so good that in the end she's number 2 with a really good result.
Oh, yeah, there we
Mistake
go.
there.
That was a mistake. That was Svante Selin from Sweden there. And that's quite hard to recover from when you make a mistake like that, but he will do his best. Next at the start, we have got on the left Rahel Good from Switzerland, and on the right there, Man Halo from Hong Kong.
And we have Finland and France.
Obviously, they can see a little bit ahead of them of those. The runners 1 minute ahead. But now the final seconds count down. You can see, looking at the compass there. And beginning their race.
Yeah, you see the hesitations there. And Isabel Lilquist into the finish here. This is, I think, the new fourth best time for her right now.
Yep,
Fifth.
going to go into fifth. Yep, fifth there,
Yeah.
36 seconds down on her teammate Pelika. So good race for her there as well.
And I'm quite curious to see about Team Finland, about Evalina Ojanaho. She was so good yesterday on the final leg of the team, so she's one of the runners that really need to pay some attention.
In the meantime, Isabella Lilquist from Canada, new fourth place, 36 seconds behind the current leader, Vilna Pelika. We have also Muhammad.
It is Finn Salmadugud, another of the Scots here, on his way to Control 10. So this is the one in the garden, racing down here. So another Finn in the lead at the moment, Virkajavi at this point. But Perrin is current leader at the finish. There's the control. And there is some little micro route choices down to the next one, but it's a good start from Finn. Greta Leonard on the left there from the United States. And Gergo Balint from Hungary, next two to start.
Now in 18th place. And we have along the course, Minna Pinkstedt. Okay, the name doesn't make you faster. And Minna is fast. But do not forget Emil Pinkstedt. 4 times in a row, European Champions League.
Yeah, you don't quite need to punch to start, but yeah, it shows that you've really, the balance for this course is running slow enough that you're not going to make any mistakes, but also kind of pushing and keeping that speed high enough to just be able to get around it quickly. It's such a balancing act.
Yeah, it's quite tricky, and for many of these runners, they are so used of doing really fast sprints, where it's much more about the route choice, and here they really need to take care about the navigation, take care about where to turn, not get caught in any of these small alleys, and just keep the navigation as fluid as possible.
On the left here, really interesting athlete, Victoria Shakova. She was first back on the first leg of the sprint relay, racing in Czech 2 team. So really got to keep an eye on her as we go into the finish. We're looking for Kuchera here.
Yeah, so Kuchera,
Czechia, yeah.
Tomasz Kuchera coming into a new spot among the 5 best. 4th position for him. 37 seconds slower than Arthur Perrin. The Frenchman still in the lead of the men's class.
Let's have a look then at the Kuchera compared to Perrin, the current leader, and check the routes.
Yes. So these two, the route choices, they are very, very similar between themselves. But Kuchera making the final approach in a better way than Arthur Perrin.
This is Thomas Kasha from Slovakia. This is a really fast run. He's going to come into 2nd place here. Really, really strong performance from the Slovakian. Just, as you said, 17 seconds slower than Arthur Perrin. Really good. 14:01 his time overall. And obviously court time there. This must be Svante Celine, I think it is, or...
Vilna, yeah.
Yes, Svante Celine on the way to control number 10. You can see already behind the time.
Yeah, he lost some time already on the start, leaving the start. But
yeah,
still in contention here. Still in contention. 21 seconds. You just need to execute the final part of the course in a good way.
And 1 second ahead of his brother Vilma, so that's some competition within the family already in this Junior World Championships. Katerina Krotvinska from Ukraine And David Benka Samurai from Hungary. Nice attacking start. It shows you as well just how small these alleyways are in this village. You kind of see them on the map and I think you think they're going to be like a proper road, and they're not a proper road. It's everything is so tiny and so intricate.
Maybe we will have some pictures from the more intricate area. Now we are always getting pictures from the areas where the streets are more open. So this really doesn't make judge on how tricky the navigation is. But now a good time
No,
here for
exactly.
the Swiss.
Yeah, this is Rahel Good coming into the ninth control for the women. It's again this one. It's just hidden behind there in the garden, and there's a couple of different route choices you can go. You can go through gaps in the hedges. You can see it's all taped there to make sure they know which bits are out of bounds. But a really, really good start there from Rahel Good. Oh, we have one of
Yeah,
the
the
Colombian athletes, I
Colombians.
think. Yep.
And I think it's the first time that we have Colombia on the Junior World Orienteering Championships. So it's really good to see them here.
Oh, that's really great. They're often part of the World Championships. There's a WOC, WOC, almost like an academy.
Clinic. Yeah.
Yeah, clinic. There we go. Who they take some kind of athletes from countries with not so much experience in orienteering and help them do the World Championships. So it's great to see them at the Junior World Championships as well. On the right here, Korsin Müller from Switzerland getting ready to go. On the left, Reyhan Pelivan from Turkey, the two athletes getting ready to go. I love seeing the contrast of like styles on the start line, because Korsin Müller, he's clearly like hyping himself up, really wanting to have a really attacking start, whereas some of the other athletes, they really want to make sure they're calm and collected and focused on the start line. It's whatever works for the athletes. It often takes quite a few years to figure out what the best approach is. But I love to see how people are all different. Here next on the start line, Violette Dupuy from France. And we have got Kore Korkut, also from Turkey. Here at the finish, Sonia Rampardo, one of the home athletes here, which is why we're giving her a bit of a focus. She's going to be just outside the top 20 here. In fact, it's very close to her teammate, Pagliari. So back for with Spain here.
Ignacio Vallejo going, I think, already to TV control number 2. Yes, indeed. And a good time among the top 10.
Yeah, he was in 16th at the previous TV control. So I think we'll climb up to that. And our first chance to see that second TV control there on the steps. I think that was Finn Salmadugud as well. Ready to join in. This is Rahel Good. And we will catch up with her again at this second split control. And she is now, there we go, ahead, I think, of Atkinson. So great middle section of the race.
Boy, and now Victoria Shkashova. Look at the time. She's faster than everybody else.
Yeah,
She's
looking
already
really
got
incredible there.
a runner. Yeah, she's already caught the
I
speed.
think that's Kaisa Elenius caught by 2 minutes there, I think, as well. So great feedback from her as she goes through the arena passage. Really, really strong work. As I said, she was in the lead first back on the first leg of the sprint relay. We wait for Eli Dent coming in here. The Aussies very proudly informed me that his dad used to run marathons for Australia, so he's got some good pedigree, but he's a young runner with lots of potential, and it's going to come here into the finish. Looks like he'll be inside the top 10. Great work from the Australian. Yep, goes into 6th place there, just pulling up a couple of seconds right at the end. He had a great run again in the sprint relay team, caught up some of the fast runners at the start, so great work for Eli.
And he's still very, very young. He was born in 2008, so he still has some more junior years ahead of him.
Yeah, if he takes them all, he's got 3 more junior world champs he could go to. So yeah, he's very inexperienced runner. So Ola Giancarlo on the start there, as well as Serafim Kowalczyk, both from Ukraine. And we actually missed a minute before the start of Lucy Ditrikova.
Yes, she's of course one of the favorites for today's race. She was running so confident yesterday on the sprint relay, and it's going to be quite interesting to see what is she going to do today. Last year she was ninth in the sprint, and then she was dominating the forest races. But let's see if she can improve the result from last year.
Yeah, we will see what she can do. I wonder if we're waiting for Victoria Skatkova. I think we are.
Yes, here comes. Yeah.
So we will take her to the next split where we will get the time check. You can see what's so many levels and terraces in this. It's lots of climb, and you can really see how much she's reading that map. She's basically not stopped reading the map at all, pretty much, but lost some time in the middle section.
Yeah, that is the secret, is you need to be ahead of your navigation, but you don't want to lose focus about the terrain, because you see so many small alleys everywhere, so it's so easy to lose the right way to turn. So let's try to see where the mistake. Yeah, she lost some time there to control number 11. That's why she's now a little bit behind.
But she's caught pretty much all of that time, those like 17 seconds that she lost. She's now only 1 second behind Pelika. So very
I was when she was passing at the arena, I saw her looking to the left side to see where to cut to number 11, but I think probably she misunderstood something and she was running around to that control 11. Yeah. Let's see if she can make up the lost time.
So Müller just gone through there, that into third place. Torsten Müller, great start for the Swiss athlete.
Yeah, so in fact it's only 5 seconds off of the time of Arthur Perrin. So in the fight for the top spots in the men's race.
So waiting at the finish, and we've got two very quick athletes coming in very soon. Looking for Victoria Shakova and also looking for Rahel Good. She should come through first. She should come through any second, I think.
Yeah, we should be seeing her.
Yep, here she is, the Swiss athlete. Is it going to be good enough for a top 3 today at the finish? Oh no, she's lost a little time. And she's going to be lost a bit of time in the last few stages then. As Santa Celine crosses the line, and Rahel Good is going to go into 7th place then in the end. 47 seconds, but she must have lost a few seconds at the end because she was a lot closer to the leaders early on.
Yeah, I think this is a 6 spot. Probably there's somebody else there that is mixing our results. From the live results, I think she's a 6 spot for her. But even so, top 10 so far. Still 46 seconds off the pace of Irma Pelika. And pretty soon we will have some news on the first TV control. You guess who it is?
Yeah. Yes, I think it's an athlete we've already mentioned in this broadcast as one of the favourites. Here she is.
Oh, and she looks so smooth running this course. No hesitation whatsoever.
I was going to say, she doesn't look fast at all. She just looks smooth. She just looks composed. Easy here. Goes around this fence, and there we go. 5-second lead, which is such a small margin, but it's such a fast race. It's such a close race. That's really important start. A fantastic start there.
Yeah, so pretty good start for Lucia Ditrikova.
Let's have a look at her GPS tracking.
So they're basically doing the same route choices here.
In the
I think
meantime,
that the route
victory
choices are quite clear, except for
against
this one to number 6.
Virma and Skashova. She was mani mano.
Different route choice to number 7, and also different route choice to number 9. The line from Dietrichkova, it's better into the first TV control. But now new best time. Uish,
Ooh,
what a
yeah,
time!
this is going to be a big new best time from Shakova from
Oh,
Czechia. This is fantastic here. She's going to have a big lead ahead of Pelika and Atkinson. 12 minutes and 32 seconds. Oh my gosh, the women are destroying the expected winning time here. It's a great result from the Czech athlete, from Victoria Shakova. Oh, brilliant run, and just pulling up more time at the end. Fantastic.
and it's crazy to understand how she was losing 1 second at the second TV control, and from there to the finish, she managed to get the 13 seconds advantage. So crazy speed for Victoria Shkashova on the last part of the course.
Well, that last part of the course is one of the few parts for the women where you can actually open up and put some speed on, because so many the rest of the times you have to be slowing down. So if you've got the speed, that really high end speed, that's one of the only places you can show it. Let's have a little look then at the GPS. Very close together at 14. That's our radio control, our TV control number 2.
Yeah, so both of them were taking similar route choices, but Virma Pelika going into the canopy to number 17. I think the route choice from Shkashova is much better. It's easier, and you have the direction out from control 17, and we saw that it paid up in the end.
So back with Kostin Müller. He had a great start on his race into about third early on, and this is 2 really fast athletes here into this one, because this is Lucy Dichikova there first, who has gone into still in the lead by 15 seconds, and Müller also in the lead. So 2 leaders through at that control at pretty much at the same point. It's just making it look so easy.
And Stefano, I'm here with Victory Shakova. And how was your
I think
race?
on the graphics we were missing Arthur Perrin. I think at that control still Arthur Perrin is the fastest. So Kursin Muller should be the second fastest at that second TV control. And for sure he will come into a new top spot. As for Dietrichkova, now it's a battle between her and Shkashova. And we saw that Shkashova was getting a lot of time onto Virma Pelika.
Jonas Leo Suelva from Italy on his way to the first split. And he's been pre-warned in a really good time. You can see Vergayavi still the quickest there. Arthur Perrin still our leader at the finish, but into 4th place. That's really strong start from the Italian. Is home advantage, does it matter a lot in the sprint races, do you think?
Well, in a way it matters, because the Italians, they are used to running this type of sprints, very intricate, and they are used to having this type of course setting. But nowadays, even the juniors, they prepare so well the junior world championships. So all of the top guys, they are very used about the terrain and the maps.
Yeah, they'll have done their JWOC camps. They'll have prepared the maps. They'll have made their own maps of these areas. They'll have done so much preparation ahead of these championships. And especially when you prepare so much, then you're standing there on that start line and you kind of have an idea about how the map's going to look, like you plan some courses. It's quite nervous knowing what it's actually going to be like. So
Yeah, the good thing about this one is that we don't have any old map of the area, so yeah, you need to make a huge efforts to really prepare it well.
But they will have done that. They will have made those maps. They will have, like between the teams, they'll have their own versions of the map from Google Street View, from satellite images, all of those kind of things.
And also here, now the shout out to Ilse Jumika from Latvia. He will come to the first TV control, really close to the time of Lucy Dietrichova. So good start by the Latvian runner. That was the fastest on the last leg yesterday.
But here is Müller, here's Corsin Müller, and he's going to go into a new leading time because he's overtaken Arthur Perrin out there on the course, and he should be good enough for a new lead. Look at that speed there at the end, crossing the line. He goes 6 seconds quicker than Arthur Perrin. So Corsin Müller, our new leader from Switzerland, and here's going to be a new leader in the women's class as well. This is Lucy Dietrichova, who's coming into the finish here. Big cheers for her here at the finish. The gap's going to be another big one. And she's going to go into a commanding lead with 2 Czech athletes in the lead at the moment, crossing the line. It's only going to be just over the 12-minute mark. 12 minutes and 5 seconds. Dietrichova has laid down her mark here in this sprint. Wow, it's going to be hard to beat.
Crazy speed by Lucy Dietrichova. 12:05, she's almost below the 12-minute mark. We never know, this may well be the gold medal performance on today's women's class.
Yeah,
See, both of them.
we'll have to wait and see, yeah.
Yeah, both of them, they were doing same sort of route choices. Yeah, it's a bit hard to see from the tracking, but I think that it's similar route choices by Dietrichova and Shkashova. And the 2 Czech girls, first and second with the 3rd position right now for Virma Pielika from Finland.
Yeah, well, could that be the winning performance? It's so hard to tell. We've got loads and loads of athletes still to come, loads of incredible performers, people who we know have won medals and things before, so we will have to wait and see, but that is how it stands at the moment. Our top 10 at the finish. Here are the men's standings for the new lead from Corsin Müller. Great run from him, picking up a bit of time at the end of the course compared to Arthur Perrin. So 2 Swiss in the top 10 at the moment. Good mixture of nations there at the moment. Arthur Perrin, Thomas Kaiser in 3rd place at the moment, just 23 seconds down, and close to the expected winning time as well. Let's take, this is another one of the Italians climbing up here towards the 2nd TV control. Oh, just a mistake there. There's the control.
Yeah, now we can really understand how many twists and turns this course has, with Jonas Leo Soelva going into the 2nd TV split. Still fighting for a place among the top 10. So good performance for the young Italian.
Yeah,
Italy that was already world champion in the junior class with Francesco Mariani some years ago.
Yeah, he made a good transition to senior ranks as well. So he went into, let's find out where he actually punched there. Waiting
I
for it
think
to come up on the system.
Sixth position for him. Only 35
Yes.
seconds out of the pace of Arthur Perrin.
Absolutely. So back at the start, Catherine Babington about to head off. And we've got Miguel Manso from Portugal.
Yeah, not a bad accent of the Portuguese name.
I've been trying to practice the pronunciations, and there's some names that are really going to trip me up today. So apologies in advance if I absolutely mess up your name. It's quite hard to have a start list of all of these different countries, but we should celebrate that as well. Here's a Norwegian, Emil Husby Ormot. Just punched there. The Norwegian, he was in about 11th spot, I think. Was that Jake? No, we're looking out for Jake McClellan. the New Zealand
Here he
athlete.
comes.
He's had a fantastic start. You're looking out for him in the black kit. Comes through here, not this one. And this is a really, really good start for the Kiwi, and goes into the lead. Jake McClellan, fantastic start there for New Zealand.
9 seconds faster than the leader at the finish line, Kursin Muller. A pretty good start for the runner from New Zealand.
Yeah, he's a fairly young runner as well. It's his second Junior World Championships, born in 2007 from Hutt Valley Orienteering in Wellington. Back at the starts.
Jake McClellan 9 seconds faster than Kursin Muller.
Next athletes ready to go. Gaia Mitzafon from Israel. We have got Jakov Lesjak from Croatia.
Seems to be a clear leader, but Yumike, Skakova and Pelika are in contention for the second and fourth place. Selva now, Selva in a third place.
So Erik Grönberg Nielsen from Denmark next to split number 2. Climbing up here, he's caught the Irish runner, and he was in 15th place at the first TV split. I think this will be an improvement here as we see him close in on this control. So Nielsen goes 8th there, 36 seconds down, still in the top 10. And then back at the start here, here's one of the very interesting runners, Daniel Bolachowski from Czechia. He was in that winning sprint relay team. He was the 3rd fastest on his leg.
And although
4th Junior World Championships.
he's like the forest runner, he's already selected to run the World Orienteering Championships by Czechia next week. I think this type of sprint may suit him quite well. And now Ilse Yumike into the finish line. She lost some time into the second TV control, but here sprinting into a place among the 3 best.
Yeah, crossing the line there. She's going to go 3rd fastest, 35 seconds down. She had a great run for Latvia yesterday, fastest on leg 4 on the sprint relay. And back at the finish, Simon Calandri. We're going to take him all the way through into the finish as well, because this looks like it's just going to be a top 3 performance. It is as well for the Frenchmen, Perrin and Calandri. And both of them in the top 3 then. Great to see 2 French athletes up there. After lots of success for the French team in Idra in the World Cup, there must be something good in French orienteering at the moment, because there's another great performance. Let's have a look at the split, the tracking, sorry.
And of course the name is familiar because her sister, his sister, Cécile, was performing extremely well on the World Cup, and here doing a quite solid performance. Simon into bronze medal position so far. And as you see, mainly all the same routes between the controls, so it's very much about the navigation. And in the men's class, we have 2 French men on the podium. In the women's class, 2 Czech girls on the podium.
It's early days though, still in this sprint race. As we see the next athletes go through. It's one of the Chinese athletes, Yi Yuan Yo. And we will try and catch up with the next athletes. That was Emil Husby Ormot from Norway, just passing there. But yeah, we were waiting for Jake McClellan, because he was in the lead at the first TV control from Wellington in New Zealand. He's climbing up here, and he will have some great feedback because he will have caught pretty much, this Norwegian. Great to catch a minute man. And is he going to be fast enough to go into the lead here at this next control? It looks really good for, again, maintaining that lead from the New Zealander. Although I think we don't have Arthur Perrin's time in there. So he goes into second place, 4 seconds behind Arthur Perrin, knowing that Corsin Müller is our leader at the finish.
Yeah, but he's 8 seconds faster than Corsin Muller, so it's looking good for New Zealand and looking good for Jake McCallan. He has been doing quite good lines between the controls, so just a few controls left for him to come into the finish and maybe be the new best time in the men's class.
So on the start line now, Imogen Peters on the left. It's her last year, she was 10th place. So wanting to try and put together a really great performance. And on the right, Nathan Philibert. Can he match the performance of his other French teammates? The two of them looking very calm on the start line, wanting to get a good start. A couple of Australians next to take to the start. Liana Stubbs, and we've got Owen Radajewski. Both just going through their last minute pre-start routines.
Yeah, and you can hear the arena speaker talking about Daniel Bolechowski, because I think that's in a few seconds we will have the Czech runner going to the first TV control in contention to the leaders. Here he comes. And
There
he's
he
in fact
comes.
the leader.
Oh, 1 second,
1 second.
in the lead by Daniel Bolechowski from Czechia. Oh, so quick. And just the speed then that he disappears out of the shot there, back down into the arena for the arena passage. Oh, incredibly quick. But he is our new leader.
And incredibly execution. So he really knew what he was doing. He knew where to exit. And that is where you gain the seconds. Here, not only on the physical part, but having this flow on your navigation between the controls. And the best route choice here from 9 to 10 compared with Corsin Müller.
Yeah, this
now
is
the Italian.
Lisa Rivetta into the finish. Is still within 2 minutes in 16th place. Great work there for Lisa Rivetta. But we should be seeing at the finish really soon Jake McClellan. What's he gonna do here at the finish? He should be here in the next few seconds. Here he comes. Here's the New Zealander, Jake McClellan. He's been fighting with seconds off the top box all the way around. Is it going to be enough? The time ticks down. He's only got a few seconds to make it to the finish line. I think it's going to be just a couple of seconds late. Oh, into second place, 3 seconds slower than Corsin Müller. Jake McClellan into the top 3. Yes, thumbs up there from Jake. Great work.
Yeah, this is what this sprint is all about. It's all down to the second. He was making a not optimal route choice here to control number 15, because you need to go more close to the line. Let's see, probably making... Yeah, they're doing the same route choice everywhere, but best execution by Corsin Müller, that is giving him the lead at the finish line. So still 13:39 the lead time for Corsin Müller in the men's class.
Yeah, you have to be so prepared. You just have to be not just doing the right route choices, you have to be ahead of yourself in the orienteering. You have to know what's coming next, so you're making no hesitations, because that's where the seconds come, and that's where the seconds come on this type of a race. Let's have a look at the Italian. Oh, mistake there. That, in fact, I've seen a few mistakes there at control 11 in the same way, overshooting that
Yeah.
control.
Again, when you are passing the arena, you have the speaker making some pressure for her, maybe also the home crowd cheering, and we have seen some runners missing the entry to that control number 11.
Yeah, we've seen a few people miss the entry, a few people like run past it exactly like that, and you have to make sure you're still, you can't relax at any point of this course, basically. You can't stop orienteering, because like you said right at the beginning, if you stop focusing for 5 seconds, you can pretty much completely lose where you are. This is Sebastiano Lambertini. We'll take him from to the split control number 2, so from 16 to 17, climbing up the slope here. Lee McClellan was, I think we still don't have Perrin's time necessarily there in the system. But Lambertini going to be more than a minute down at the moment, fighting hard here up the hill.
Yeah, but I think
He
that
caught some time.
we should stick here, because pretty soon we will have another runner passing here that, yes, he may be the new leader at TV2. Daniel Bolejowski is already on his way to this second TV control. And he's running so fast, Daniel Bolejowski.
Yeah, he should be at TV control 2 in the next 30 seconds. So
Yeah,
here he
goes.
Oh,
And,
even
look
quicker than I
at-
thought. This is incredible time here.
It's incredible flow throughout the terrain, and he will take here a clear lead in the men's class, 7 seconds ahead of the New Zealander Jake McCallan. And if we compare him with Kursin Muller, he's 15 seconds faster. So all looking quite good for Daniel Bolejowski and for Czechia.
In the first place, in the women's class, with the great.
Yes, could that be Czechia won in the women's and the men's class? This is Owen Radieski from Australia in the top 10 there. And I think the really impressive ones here, the ones who aren't looking at their map on this section here, they already know where to go.
Good breaks for you, Sondre, because the shadow is
Norwegian,
still
I
there.
think it's Sondre Olausson into 12th place there, 54 seconds down.
Bolejowski and Müller. And Müller is coming back.
And on the women's class, I think pretty soon we'll have Selina Sandwald at the start line.
Yes, one of our big favourites as Piscots into the finish here, into 49th position. Yep, as you said it, there is Selina Sandwald, ran the 4th leg for Switzerland won and has such a great run. She missed that controller and I'm sure she'll be gutted, but she was 4th place in the sprint last year, got loads and loads of potential.
Yeah, she's definitely one of the favorites, and yeah, sometimes when you have those type of mistakes, you can use it as a fuel to make it a huge performance on the next day. So let's see how she can bounce back from that mistake yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. She'll have been really gutted, but you know, it's a mistake you learn from, you move on. She'll have so much attack and yeah, just really want to keep going. There's Fiziblova also from Czechia into 16th spot. That's the first TV split just before the arena passage, as you can see down there with all the flags. You can hear the cheering from the arena as well. It's like I love a small arena because it means you can pack it full of spectators, and the noise gets really good. The atmosphere gets really nice as well. And it all gets very, very exciting. So lots of spectators there to cheer on the runners. Here's the more into the finish here. This is going to be Sebastiano Lambertini and ahead of him Miguel Manso, both coming into the finish. Look, the faster runner is the one in the black kit, in the Italian kit, and he is going to look to be in that side, the top 20. So Lambertini.
Yes, but look behind, because here comes the new leader. This is quite clear, and it's a crazy performance by Daniel Bolejowski. He is going to really outshout the time, of course, in Muller.
Oh, this is a massive gap, 18 seconds. Oh, when we've had gaps of 2, 3, 4 seconds so far, to suddenly take 18 seconds off the lead. Daniel Bolejowski, fantastic performance, 13 minutes and 20 seconds. Oh, I mean, he's now going to have a nervous wait at the finish, knowing where is he going to leave him at the end. Let's get a look at his GPS tracking.
Yeah, you see really good lines between the controls. We saw him in all the pictures running quite smoothly between each of the controls, so he should be very happy about his performance. I don't think he would get any second anywhere, so he was running a perfect and quite clean race. And let's see if this is going to be enough for the gold medal today. Still some strong names on the start list.
Yeah, absolutely. We really can't call it for quite a while yet, because there's so many other great runners who can come in and challenge. This is Nathan Philibert up on his way, climbing up the stairs. It's one of the few times we've actually seen those stairs up towards the 17th control, but into 6th place at the moment. Again, and I mentioned this at the start line about the consistency in the French team, and still another one of the French athletes absolutely up there. Janka Mikes then is the next up, and she ran the first leg for Hungary in the sprint relay, came in 6th place. She was 4th in the middle distance last year. Really strong work there. Here's James Hammond, and he's going to set a new leading time here at the start. 7 seconds quicker than Bolejowski. James Hammond, a fantastic start for the Brit. He's probably the best of the British men. He's been beating those 2-3 years older than him for years and years, and he really wanted to target this race. He's had a fantastic start.
He's totally flying there in the men's class, but we also have one girl that is flying to the terrain. That is Kathi Otz from Switzerland. She may come to the first TV control with a new best time.
Yeah, let's see.
Here she comes.
See her.
Oh, she lost
4 seconds.
She was coming from the wrong direction, so she took the wrong route choice there. She was leading with 1 second advantage over Lucy Dietrichova at the pre-warning to that first TV control, and now she's 4 seconds off the pace, but still position number 2 for her.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got loads and loads of great women about to go. There's like 4 in a row that are about to come up, from Freya Kern to Sigrid Haskott. We've got Rita Maramosi, we've got Nia Schingler coming as well. Like, it's about to get really exciting in the women's race. If it's not exciting already. This is Kathi Otz. Look at her. She was quicker than Dietrichova at the start, but then just look at the route choice to control 9.
Yeah, so Kathi Otz was leading at control number 8, but then this route choice to control number 9 by Dietrichova was clearly faster, but still a lot of race to go for the young Swiss runner. But let's again focus to the starts before we go to the first TV control.
Yeah, Ginedel Fire, and we have from Finland, Rasmus Toivola, 2 of them ready to begin. I do confess I've got some help from my Spanish friend to help me with the Spanish pronunciation.
And Rasmus Toivola was running also really good yesterday on the sprint relay team for Finland. But here you
Oh, but
see
here's
the new best
Anna
time
with a
by
great
Celine
start.
Sandveld.
Yeah, it is going to be a new best time, and this is the route choice to control 9 that we wanted to see. We think this is the quickest one, so she's going to have a clear new best time, going ahead of Detoshkova. 8 seconds there. A fantastic start over just those 9 controls, getting that 8-second gap, and you can hear the noise from the arena building up as well. So new leaders at this point, TV1 in both the women's and the men's classes.
Yeah, so it's so good to see Celine Sandvold bouncing back from the race from yesterday. And right now, she's the fastest girl out there in the terrain. Compared with Lucia Dietrikova, 7 seconds advantage at that first control.
So this is Katy Hotz climbing up towards control 14. That's the second TV control. Where will she go? So the same time as Detoshkova. Oh my goodness me. So close there. And she's only a couple of minutes away from the finish line as well. She'll be there in about 4 minutes. 4 minutes of orienteering left to go. And at this point, split 2, you can see they're exactly the same time and 15 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. So super strong performance from the Swiss there. And at that point, quite a significant gap over the rest of the field. At the moment, at the finish, Lucy Dietrikova has a 27-second lead over her teammate Victoria Skakova in 1 and 2 at the finish line. So
Yeah, but
exciting.
we are focused here because we are waiting for a British shirt to this TV control. James Hammond should be coming here pretty soon. And let's see if he can beat the time of Daniel Boleowski.
Oh my gosh, I am getting nervous here. As we see Victory Visiblova into the top 10 at the finish. And also seeing Liana Stubbs into the finish. This is James Hammond though. And is he going to still have the leading point of this one? It looks fantastic for James, for the Scots. And I think he's still got another year of JWOC to go, should he want it. So there we go, a new leading time. 13 seconds then is the lead for James Hammond.
So a new best time on the men's class at that TV2, and pretty soon we will also have a new best time in the women's class. Celine Sandvold, she keeps running extremely well, and she's also the fastest at TV2.
10 seconds lead there, really strong performance under the 8 minutes at that mark. First ones go quicker than Detoshkova. And here's another one we want to watch out for, was in the first team for Hungary, first leg there, and she's had a good start. Janka Mikes? I don't know, gonna put it out there.
Mikes. In fact, if we are talking to the Hungarians, we should always say the last name first. So they always say Mikes, Janka, but of course this is an international feat, so we say the names as normal.
So I
But
can say now
good start for her.
So Mara Rita is next to go. She ran the 4th leg for Hungary, won 3rd overall, but she's got 3 golds and 2 silvers, including being a former JWOC sprint champion. One of the huge names to watch out for. Oh, nearly. I thought she was about to fall over at the start there, but 3 composers herself, and again, one of the big favourites for this race.
She is also one that has some fuel from yesterday, losing that silver medal at the photo finish. Yeah, it's happy because you get the medal, but then you always get in your mind that maybe if I had punched that control well and not come back, maybe I would get the silver medal. But it was a huge performance for her and for Hungary yesterday.
So Koppel here from Estonia. Oh, not quite got the entrance there. There it is. There's the control. Still inside the top 10. Oh, not quite prepared for that. And if you keep doing too many of those, that is what happens. But we're looking at Katy Hotz. Here she is, coming into the finish now. Is it going to be a new leading time? It is going to be a new leading time here for Katy Hotz. 12 minutes and 3 seconds, goes 2 seconds quicker than Detoshkova. Big smiles there. I'm not sure the lead's going to last for too long, though, because we do have Selena Sandveld on her way in. But a great run again, picking up just a few seconds at the end. Fantastic work from Kathi Hotz. Let's have a look at her GPS tracking. You can see
Yeah, but you
Sandveld
see
is about
that
10 seconds ahead.
But you see that Celine Sandvold is always ahead of the other girls. So pretty soon she will come to the finish and maybe be the new leader. But this route choice by Celine is really not ideal. Oh, so some drama here.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. We haven't got her at the pre-finish, the pre-warning yet. This is Sigrid Hauskast, who ran the fourth leg for Norway. She turns 20 this year, so she's born in 2005. It's her first Junior World Championships. And here's James Hammond at the finish. Is this going to be a new leading time here at the finish for the Briton? I don't think it's going to be. Must have lost some time right at the end because he's not going to be quicker than Daniel Bolohovsky. He's going to go into the second place there for James Hammond from Great Britain, 5 seconds down on the lead. Oh, and he was ahead. He was ahead by 13 seconds at TV2. So maybe a mistake there right at the end for James Hammond. But let's take Sandveld, putting Sandveld into the finish because he is going to set a new leading time here. This is clear here at the finish. Going to go ahead of her teammates, Kathi Hotz, Selena Sandveld. Redemption maybe from yesterday's missed punch. This is a fantastic run. Crossing the line, just 3 seconds in the lead. Again, losing a little bit of time at the end there.
Yeah, like we saw, she was doing that suboptimal route choice to number 18. She was 10 seconds in front of Katiotz at TV2 here at the finish line. Still a new best time, but only 3 seconds advantage over Katios. So right now, Switzerland, and Czechia, 3 best in the women's class, with Celine Salval on the gold medal position.
After that night, Selena decided I will be in first place, and she is in the first place. 12 minutes left. 12 minutes left for Selena Sandveld.
Let's take a look at the GPS tracking with also Janka Mikas in there as well, who's on her way shortly to the finish. Where will she end up? Sandveld clearly in the lead at that point. Oh, and very different route choices here.
Yeah, but I think Mikes is making some small hesitation there. And Mikes, in fact, was the second fastest at TV2. He was 1 second faster than Kathi Hotz. So, yeah, still open for her, at least for the second spot.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see her in to the finish in the next minute and a half. But those are the standings at the finish. As you said, 2 Swiss followed by 2 Czechs there. And Ilse Yumika still in 5th place. I've got a British lens that I'm looking through this, so I can see we've got 3 Brits in the top 20 at the moment. And let's look at Freya Kern into control number 9. She ran the first leg for Sweden 1, was second on her leg, but will be disappointed, I think, to be 24 seconds down at this point. She picked up a silver medal yesterday in the sprint relay. And now we get a sense of just how steep this is. This is one of the Lithuanian runners. And we're waiting for Rasmus Toirala from Finland.
So, and he's running good. He's running for a place among the top 5. I don't think he will beat the time of James Hammond. He's still a little bit far from the control, but he will come to a position among the top 5. It's quite a good run for Rasmus Toirila. Still very young runner, born in 2007, so still some years ahead of them. But this is the news.
Mara Morosi has some work to do because she's down there. She's down, what was that, about 10th, 11th spot. Goodness me, she's going to have some work to do. She's going to be able to take another medal. Torila then
Yeah, she's
3rd place.
She's quite far from the leading positions, Rita Maramoros. Yeah, 20 seconds off the pace. I don't think that it's going to be a medal for her today.
No, there's not enough there's not enough time in this course to win back that time. I don't know if you've seen any of her tracking. Were there any mistakes you could see there in her
No,
orienteering?
no, I was looking at the tracking. It seems like the lines were quite okay between the controls. No big mistakes. So yeah, probably just the physical shape is not the best. We have
Yeah.
to check if she can bounce back a little bit in the last part of the course.
We will keep an eye on her race. This is Dalgaard, Niels Dalgaard from Denmark into 6th place there, just splitting the French athletes, 35 seconds off the pace of Bolahovsky. Not happy with something there, maybe. And one of the next to the finish, we'll have Finn, who we've just seen, Erasmus Toivola. Looking out for him. Looking out for Nia Schingler as well. Rita Maramoros, we'll see her at TV2 very soon.
No, sorry. I was blind. 10th place for Janka Mikesh, 13:22, 1 minute 22 seconds lower than the current leader, Celine Sandvall.
Ah, so
And
I
Janka.
think it's a mistake.
Yeah, that was the mistake that we were looking. Yeah, she was, I think she lost control on her navigation there and she lost a lot of time. She was fighting for second spot. In the end, she's 10th position right now.
She's now just come into the finish. This is Rita Maramoros. You can see she was 20 seconds down from control 8 onwards. And actually,
she's gaining time.
Managed to gain some time. Yeah,
so
14 seconds down.
Just 6 seconds faster. So yeah, still possible for her to climb back into a medal position. So she needs to keep her navigation under control on this last part. We saw the mistake there by Janka Mikes.
13:01, 1 minute 1 second behind Celine Sandvall.
So let's look at Toivola, who should be sort of the next.
So yeah, so you see that's a mistake.
Yep. Oof.
Yeah. Again, like it seems on the map, you look at it and yeah, it's quite rather easy route choice, but there's so many things happening on the terrain. You need to pay attention to so many details to take the right turn and hit the control in a good fashion that you see mistakes like this. But also good run here for the Nia Schindler from Australia.
Yeah, Nia Schingler having a great run here. She's going to be quite a little bit off the time of Maramoros. Not too fast, still ahead of Perlica. So really good middle part of this race, I think, from Nia Schingler. And I mean, we sit here like looking at the maps, thinking it's so easy, but when you're running at such a high speed, it's so difficult. There are loads and loads of controls on this, and there's just all of these little steps here, there, and everywhere, little passageways that you have to spot, little alleyways, undercover sections as well. And we'll take Toivola into the finish after the mistake we saw from him. You can see there on the bottom right-hand side of your screen, he lost 25 seconds on that one, and now gone into 7th place. Yes, yeah, he knows. He knows. Of course, he knows.
And we know what happens. Yeah, so
we saw it on the GPS tracking. He just lost track of exactly where he was. Ooh. And suddenly the seconds tick by as well. Oh, really, really tricky. Okay, now at the start again, Silvia Di Stefano and Sahar Eshel. Now this could be a super interesting runner because he ran second leg on the sprint relay for the Israeli team. He was 6th fastest on the leg, changed over in 3rd position. I mean, fantastic run on that sprint relay, and from a nation like Israel, which doesn't have a whole load of experience in orienteering and the depth in the squad, that was quite exciting to see.
And I went to check what was the best result ever for Israel in the sprint in the Junior World Orienteering Championships, and it was a 26 spot. So I think that this is something that he can aim for sure, and be the best Israeli runner in the sprint ever.
Very good, definitely very good in the first part of the
We
race.
will wait and see. We'll find out in about 14 minutes or so as Shasana comes there into the top 10. And we are looking out for Rita Maramorosi because she should be
Yeah.
here in the next 30 seconds or so. We will watch out
And
for her.
the focus is now on her because she has done the right route choice to control number 11. Best route choice there than Celine Sandvold. So, yeah, the seconds aren't counting. Let's see if Shen, you see the time gain there. So she was only 9 seconds behind that control number 18. We are waiting for her. Here she comes, but she will not beat Selena Sandvold.
No, she's not going to beat Sandvold. She's already too late. Where should we end up? Will she end up in third position? She's not going to do that either. She's going to be outside the medals. So the former Sprint Junior World Champion is not going to do enough today to make it into the medals. She's in the cruelest position. She's in fourth place at the moment, with lots of other runners still to come. Fourth place for Rita Maramorosi. Must have had a mistake there in the early section because she was 20 seconds down and then was fighting back, catching back up time. Oh, so tricky.
And she's analyzing what she has done during the course. Yeah, for her, it's last year as a junior. So from the next year onwards, she can only focus on the elite level competitions.
Well, she's already run the senior level competitions at the home European Championships last summer. Let's have a look if there was she's already behind
that's
here.
control. Yeah, because the route choice there from 4 to 5, I think it's much better to come down, because if you come down, you don't have any type of stairs to run. If you go like the route choice that Maramorosi did, you need to climb up the stairs and then down the stairs to the control, and you will lose some time. Now Nia Schindler, really good to see her coming into a top 10.
Yeah, coming into the finish here. She's going to be in the top 6 as well. Nia Schindler into 6th place. Great run there, 37 seconds down on the lead. Great performance back into the terrain. Tomasz Renka. And this is pretty quick. James Hammond was the quickest at that point, still into 2nd place at the finish. Daniel Bolachowski, our current leader. But there we go, only 22 seconds down. So
yeah, but if we compare with them, Daniel Bolachowski is only 11 seconds off the gold medal at that control. So good start by the Polish runner.
We're looking for Sigurd Halskott from Norway. And she's going to go again into the top 10, maybe into a top 6, maybe just slower than Nia Schindler there. Very, very close. The Norwegian in the top Norwegian team for the sprint relay.
Now, I was talking with the Finnish coach, chatting over WhatsApp yesterday, and I told him that Evalina was going to be my bet for today's race, because she seemed to be in a good fitness level yesterday, and this is the sort of sprints where the navigation is very important. So I think that she will be among the best today. Let's see if she has the speed.
Yeah, she's got 6 JWOC medals already to her name. Her best sprint was 2 years ago. She got a bronze, so can she improve on that one? She was 6th fastest on her leg yesterday for the sprint relay. But let's go to Lehtinen, who also ran, I think, the last leg for Finland. In Finland too, also had a good run. And she's going to be inside the top 10 at the moment at split control number 9, just not quite as prepared for the next section. So intricate, there's so much detail on the map. Maria Ella from Estonia next to start there, and we've got Chun Kwong from Hong Kong.
In 10th place, Silvia Di Stefano. She is 13 seconds lower than the current leader, Celine Sandvald, after 5 minutes. Good job, Silvia. Silvia Di Stefano sta facendo un gran lavoro.
Next at start, Felicia Persson, and we've got Tommy Rollins. Tommy's in my club, so from doesn't live too far away from me. So shout out to Southern Navigators. Silvia Di Stefano then next to reach this control number 9. This is a good start here from the Italians.
Yes, indeed. Good performance for her so far. Close to the top 10 or even in the top 10 there. Yeah, 9 spots. So good start of the race for the young Italian.
Renka here, the Polish athlete. Oh, hang on, is this going to be a new leading time? This is incredibly quick. This is going to be so close. Is it going to be a new leader here from Poland crossing the line? We'll get the time. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it's the same time. It's the same time. So new joint leader. Oh, he nearly came out of nowhere here, this pole. He was in 6th place at TV2, so he's caught up.
Yeah, 11 seconds, like we told you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he was 11 seconds behind Daniel Boliowski. And here in the finish, same spot. So right now, 2 guys on the leading position in the men's class, Tomasz Grzenka from Poland and Daniel Boliowski from Czechia. 2 guys sitting on the leading position with 13 minutes and 20 seconds. And then the 3rd spot for James Hammond.
Here at the as they cross back over the road into the old town, watch him catch back up on Boliowski.
With the same time on the screen.
Yeah, he does the best. Yeah, he makes the best route choice there to control number 19 compared with Boliowski. Boliowski was running back from 18 and he was losing some seconds on that route choice. So the course is really separating the runners. That is quite good to see.
Yeah, you have to make the right route choices. You have to not do any hesitations. It's so exciting. That he is again one of the athletes you were saying we should look out for.
Yeah, Henriette Radzikowski at the start line. She's one of the favorites for today's course. She was 7th in the sprint 2 years ago, 3rd in the sprint last year, so she was a bronze medalist. And here I know that she's fighting to get a better color of the medal in the end.
Okay, let's catch up with Silvia Di Stefano, who was in the top 10, I'm pretty sure, when we saw her through at TV1. She was in 10th position.
Meantime, we didn't. She's a strong sprint runner. She was 3rd in the European Youth Championships in 2023. So she has some international results, and she's here proving that she can be among the best in the world.
Yeah, now back into 14th, so lost a little bit of time there. Next at the start, Doja Salopek from Croatia, and another of the Italians, Marina Geo. We also saw in the previous minute Mihaly Sobot, who was ran the 2nd leg for Team Hungary on their sprint relay. He is really young junior.
But he's also one of the names that we should look out to. He was 6th in the sprint distance in JWOC last year, so I think that a top 10 result for him, being so young, born in 2008, top 10 will be really good confirmation that he has a bright future ahead of him.
Okay, this is Evelina Oyanaho, and she's already slower than Sandvald at the moment. So punches into 4th, equal 4th place with Kati Hotz. So lost a little bit of time already.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to be so fluid as the other runners. He was exiting a little bit there, exiting the control.
To fifth of the competition at the same time. Silvia Stefano lost some seconds.
And
lost some
what's that,
positions.
about
She was
5
number
minutes
14,
through?
but she is
So
running
5 minutes out of a 12-minute race. 12 minutes exactly is what Selina Sandveld has in the lead at the moment. See who we are waiting for next. Mera from France, maybe.
Mera should come to a place outside of the top 10.
Yeah,
Here
that's
she is.
Alice Mera.
Top 20. Yeah, correct.
Mattia Corona next to reach control 17, which is our second TV point.
Yeah, but he's running really good. You see that the time there for Tomasz Rsenka passed there, and is not so far. He's only 8 seconds off the pace of Tomasz Rsenka, and Tomasz is the one of the current leaders at the finish. So yeah, good race so far for the Italian runner.
We also just had the Israeli athlete through there as well in 15th place, 14th place, I think. This is Evelina Ayanaho. Let's take her then through to her 14th control to TV split number 2. Has she managed to catch up any time then here? She was in 5th place at TV1. 12 seconds behind.
She's among
behind here.
But she will be among the best at that control. She's taking the route choice that will lead her quite close to the control. So she will punch right there.
Yep, into 5th place at the moment. So 17 seconds down. And to me, that's too much. Let's think, how far is she off 3rd place? 7 seconds.
Yeah,
Could happen.
7 seconds out the 2nd place. So yeah, everything can happen into the finish, especially if she does the right route choice. We saw that Celine Sandvold, she had made the suboptimal route choice to control number 18. So there is time to gain over the last part of the race.
Yep, she should be in to finish the next 3 minutes. As we see Johan Kennis from Belgium, and it was Raya Astanova from Bulgaria. As we keep tracking through the start list here. Victoria Novenko from Moldova next to start on the women's class. Vladimir Horoshko from Ukraine.
And I think that we will see Henriette Radzikovski at the first TV control pretty soon. But she is doing the wrong route choice there, so she will be behind. Yeah, here she goes.
Yeah, let's see what her time was. Well, it didn't kind of stop. There we go. Into 10th place, 19 seconds down. So quite similar to Evelina Oyanaho, I think, at that point.
Yeah, she's even slower than Evelina Oyanaho. So she's 5-6 seconds slower than Evelina Oyanaho.
Felicia Persson climbing the steps here up towards the 2nd TV control. You see she's already 20 seconds behind. She was down in 11th place at the first TV control. Still in that spot. 30 seconds down. Next to the start, Phoebe Hunt from New Zealand and Ludwig Rosen from Sweden. as the sun keeps shining down here in Italy, getting warmer and warmer. Of course, these athletes will have spent a couple of hours in quarantine trying to not to think about the nerves, trying to keep calm, and obviously not knowing at all what is happening in the race. Into the finish, Mattia Corona, what's he going to do here? Going to be outside the top 10.
In 16th place, 17th place. Mattia Corona sta cercando di salire dalla 19ª posizione fino alla 9ª, 8ª posizione a metà gara.
So yeah, lost quite a bit of time then, I think, in between TV2 and the finish.
Un distacco di 55 secondi dal leader della classifica, dai leader della classifica, che sono Tomasz Genza e Daniel Bolechowski.
Jiating Jiang from China and Cooper Hawley from Australia. He ran the second leg on the Australian sprint relay team, caught up a lot at the start of the leg. So Cooper Hawley, let's look out, see how he's able to do. Again, you can see all the athletes just folding up their maps, getting this small section. It's a very narrow section of map that they're on at the start of the course. Let's look at Henrietta Radikowski. How's she doing here? Climbing up the stairs. And she is still about 25 seconds down, as you can see, in 7th place. So no upgrade on the medal, I don't think, for Henrietta Radikowski. Sprint bronze medal last year.
He's losing time. Henrietta Radikowski lost sometimes, but she is trying to cover the gap for a possible.
And we should very soon see Evelina Yanaho at the finish, but we're waiting for Hunt here, Felix Hunt. Here he comes. The New Zealander was in 8th spot at TV1. Going up the slope here, so you've got choice of this control going up the slope or going up the steps. Generally easier and quicker to climb on the slope. So that's all having to factor into the route choices here. And into the top 10 for Felix Hunt.
Yeah, in the meantime, we had the finish from Evalina Oyanaho, 11th position for her, but she was losing a lot of time to control number 18. Not the best route choice, and then she made a mistake going into the control, so she went to make a big turn into the control. So outside of the top 10 today, Evalina Oyanaho.
Yeah, she went from 17 seconds down to a minute down at the end there. Very tough. It just shows you've got to be so focused the whole way around this race. There's Ira Sosa was in the Finnish first team for the sprint relay, took 5th place there. So we should have a couple of minutes before we see Henrietta Radikowski into the finish. Alicia Persson also on her way in as well. Just trying to look through the live results.
3 minutes, 40 seconds running time from the Sweden.
So looking for Felicia Persson from Sweden. She should be the next to come through into the finish. This is Maria Ella. And here is Persson. Just trying to see how much, again, she must have made a mistake here because she was 30 seconds down at the second TV control. So I think another mistake here at the end.
Yeah, again, the famous route choice to control number 18 proved to be tough for the Swedish girl. But Henrietta Radikowski is doing it in a really good fashion, so she's going into control number 18 right now. But I don't think that it's going to be her day today. It's looking quite good for Celine Sandval.
The next Hunter, then Paride Gaio.
Yeah, let's take a look. So this is Persson. I think that's 17th control, proving tricky.
Yeah,
for
and
a lot
then
of
she
people.
went. You see that she went too far down there on that street, and then she had to climb back the stairs to go to number 18. She lost time there.
Izzy Howard into the finish here. Scottish athletes, and going to be inside the top 20. So second best of the Brits at the moment. But Radzikowski into the finish here. Where's she going to end up? She's going to be outside the top 3 into 4th or 5th place. So just outside the medals. And
5th best time.
yeah.
So still a place in the podium, but no medal for in the sprint distance for the Henriette Radzikowski. But still looking good for Switzerland in the women's class, with right now in gold medal position Celine Sandvold, silver medal position Kati Ots, and the bronze medal position for Lucy Dietrichova.
In 5th place, 1 second behind Victoria Skashova. She remains in 4th place, Schindler in 6th place.
Yeah, you see here this route choice to control number 18 from Celine Sandvold.
Best women from the Italian team. How was your race today?
It was really fun. I really enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
really tricky route choices, testing the athletes all the way to the end, back at the start. Fanny Delahaye next to start, and look at this. This is Loic Berger, the bronze medalist from last year, and with the gold and silver medalist not here, he's surely one of the big favourites as well, Bruno.
Yeah, he's really one of the favorites. The Berger name is quite famous among orienteering, and he's living up to the expectations. And the father as well. The father was a former bronze medalist in the long distance, I think in Scotland in 99, if
99,
I'm
yeah.
not mistaken.
There was definitely
was
a
bronze
world in
medalist.
99 in Scotland.
Yeah, so he
I
was
don't
bronze
remember it, I
medalist there. So it's the advantages of being a little bit older.
Oh, loads of cheering. This is Paride Gaio from Italy. He's come out of nowhere here. He's going to take a really good spot. Is he going to be on the podium? 7th place, just 1 second behind Arthur Perrin. Fantastic result from the home runner there. Really fighting hard on those last stages. You could hear the atmosphere in the arena, chasing some of the other runners as well. Great job, and he caught Mahalik Sobot from Hungary as well. Jon Kennis from Belgium, equal with Kostin Müller, 28 seconds behind James Hammond. We know James Hammond lost some time in the end.
7, and now 8th place after checking the controls.
Let's look at the Italian then here in the purple, Gaio.
With Wojciechowski in 1st place, then Hammond. Then in 4th place together, Kostin Müller and Jake McClellan. In 6th place, Arthur Perrin.
And that route choice to 21 proving tricky for some of the athletes. And it's almost tricky as well when you're going over the same ground that you've already been from the earlier part of the race. Like, you have that memory of how things look, and sometimes I think you can be influenced by your previous route choices about which way you're going to go.
Yeah, not only that, but also you can really try and see, okay, I will rest a little bit my mind because I've passed there, I know how it looks, and you lose the focus for some seconds and then poof, and you make a mistake. And we saw so many runners making a mistake to this control. It's control 21 for the guys, same control 18 for the girls, and a lot of boys and girls are making some mistake there.
Yeah, those are standings then. Recapping the standings at the finish, Selina Sandvald and Kathy Hotz in the top two positions. We see Didrikova into the third place. What can Alva Bjork do? And this is, again, a really big name. She won that sprint finish and got that silver medal for Sweden yesterday. It's her fourth Junior World Championships. She was fourth fastest on her leg. That sprint finish, she's going to have so much confidence in her speed to, she was catching up Rita Mamaroshi on the climbs as well. And with so much climb again in this race, she is going to be, super full of confidence here.
And she had a good sprint season, so I think she's also one of the girls that we really need to look for her in the results lists later on. She is already running, for example, the MOC in Italy. She ran there, second position for her. So she has experience, she has some capability, and for sure will be fighting for a medal today.
Stefano, if you have a few minutes, I'm here with
Next two athletes about to begin their campaigns. Julia Biskupska and for China, Kun Dao.
So how was your race?
Yeah, so in the beginning I was a bit behind because I didn't quite see I was able to get through to the first control.
Getting busy in the town here. Pretty much the whole map is the village here and closed to traffic, this main road. And we're waiting for the Belgian, Johan Kennis.
And this is a fantastic result.
Really great run from Belgium. They've got the European champs coming up. They're full of excitement for that. It's going to be outside the top three, but it looks like possibly good enough for a podium spot here. Kennis into the finish.
Yeah, so he should be really happy about this performance. 6 spots right now, same time as Arthur Perrin. So, really good to see.
And let's catch up with Loic Berger. What is he able to do? He's on his way.
He's going to be the new leader. This is quite clear.
Yeah, this is a great run here. Oh, he's going to be... Well, he's not going to be the new leader.
No. Oh.
Same time as Wolochowski, who is one of our two current leaders at the moment.
Yeah, so he lost some time on the leg.
Yeah. Just trying to see, did some people miss? Or maybe they're using this as the way down to the last control. Waiting for... Yeah, Fanny De La Haye coming in there.
So Loic Berger passed there 5 minutes and 7 seconds, and this is exactly the same time as one of the leaders, Daniel Bolejowski, and is in fact 12 seconds faster than Tomasz Zenka from Poland, the other leader at the finish. So pretty good start by Loic Berger.
And we are waiting for Loic Berger.
Okay, so Fanny De La Haye did come through there, that TV2 in second place, 5 seconds slower than Selina Sandvald. Let's have a look. She was ahead maybe of Sandvald on some of the parts here. Really attacking start.
We have so far 2 current gold medals. Do you want to have the third? I would like to have.
Yeah, so it's a solid run so far by Fanny De La Haye, the French girl. 5 seconds only off the pace of Selina Sandvald, so she's running in contention for the medal.
She really is. There's not much orienteering to go. So 2 runners out there at the moment with really good runs going on. Fanny De La Haye and also Loic Berger. In fact, we should hopefully soon catch Fanny De La Haye at TV control number 2. Let's get the comparison then on the men's class. Different route for Bolowski into 6.
Where are all the French guys?
For Luc Berger, Berger and Bolowski neck and neck there. Same routes. Oh, different routes there to 14.
Yes, but it seems like
Luc
the route
Berger
from
ahead, I
Berger was
think.
slightly faster. Yeah,
I think so. I think so. This
and
is Fanny
here.
Delahaye. We're going to take her up the stairs. This is towards T control 2.
And last year she didn't perform well on the sprint. She was only 70 in the sprint, but she was already fourth place in the AOC 23 in the Youth European Championships in 23. So she will definitely improve her performance, but she's a really good runner, running really well here. Only 3 seconds off the pace of the silver medal position.
Is going to start the competition. She is the
So it will be a dramatic improvement on her sprint performance.
It really will be. We're waiting very soon for Luc Berger. This is the control for the TV2, I think. We're looking out for the Swiss runner. Here's a comparison between Sandveld and Delahaye.
Yeah, but
Berger should be here really soon as we just see Martin Sobot into the finish. But
yeah,
we
outside
should
of the
be
top
seeing
10.
Hmm?
But the news is on TV2. Pretty soon we will have there Loic Berger, and he's running really well from the tracking, from the radio controls. It seems to be everything under control.
Yes, so he was the bronze medalist from last year, and with the gold and silver medalists not here, then we know he is going to start as one of the big favourites, just getting his head down here. And we really want to compare his time to Bolohovsky, because Bolohovsky is one of the two leaders in the finish. James Hammond
He's
was the
going
leader
to
that
be,
by
yeah,
quite some time, so we want to compare to Bolohovsky. He's going to be quicker than Bolohovsky.
yeah, he's going to be around 7-8 seconds faster than Boleovsky. So 8 seconds faster than Daniel Boleovsky. So Loic Berger on his way to what may be a new leading time in the men's class. Now
And he's
the
the defending
reigning,
champion.
yes, the reigning long junior sprint world champion into the streets.
Yes, Eli Punto for Finland. Such a strong runner. We'll see how she's able to do. Again, one of those we're going to want to track her routes really, really closely. As we see, Lucie Gaudion ran the first leg for France one in the sprint relay. She was 12th. And we've also got Ben Gostick, who's also in the first team for Britain. He's just wiping his magnifier there. What's he doing? Running for Sheffield University at the moment. But in a couple of minutes' time, we should have Luc Berger into the finish. Fanny Delahaye should be here in the next minute or so into the finish. Ooh, and Ben Gostick shouldn't start his run like that because he's going to make a mistake. If he does, there we go. He's not the first person I've seen doing that, if it makes me feel any better. Let's take a look at Luc Berger. See ahead of Bolohovsky. Now we really need to look, see if we can see his route from 20 to 21. No, not quite yet. We're live with Berger
we
now.
are live there. So before that, we'll have Fanny Delahaye in the women's class to that second last control into the finish, and she's still fighting for a place among the best, but she has made some mistakes. So I don't think that she will get the medal positions today.
No, she's really, really close to the finish. We've got her on the pre-warning. Here she is, running down the street. It's one of the few moments where you can really, really open up. There she is on the street. Fanny Delahaye from France. And we take her time. She is going to be outside of the medals today, making a little mistake in at the end, dropping down a few seconds, but she's still going to be in that podium spot, in that top 6 place at the moment, in 4th of Fanny Delahaye. Fantastic work from the French athletes. She was so close to a medal there as well.
As for Alva Bjork, she's outside of the top 10, even outside of the top 20. She's trying to recover a little bit, but no podium for her today.
Katarina Stepova here on the left-hand side for Czechia. She was actually third fastest on her leg. She ran the fourth leg for the Czech second team. So great results already at this competition. And I'm just looking at the live results for, I wonder if the live results of Miss Luc Berger. What is going on? Let's have a look. Oh no, is he making?
No.
Oh my gosh!
No.
Oh man!
I was looking at
hang on,
the tracking and
that's not what you want to see if you're a Swiss orienteering fan. Goodness me, making a big mistake. You can see the comparison with the others. He's now over a minute down. The tail is 30 seconds. I mean, we've seen that control is proving so tricky. What do you think is the difficulty with that control?
Yeah, because even on the map you can see that there are so many things going on. First, and if you read the informations, it is said that once you go into those canopies and you have a really long canopy going into control number 20, the light is very low, so it's hard to read the map. So yeah, you will be some seconds without being able to read the map. So in a situation like this, you really need to be ahead of orienteering and know, okay, after I exit the canopy, I need to go to my left side, turn the building to the left and then into the control. But it's a pity for Loic Berger. He was doing such a really good race.
You look at the split times on the right-hand side of your screen, and he was within seconds of the lead, and sometimes that was within seconds of James Hammond, and then he's lost well over a minute on that mistake. Oh my gosh, and then you lose a minute like that and you're down in 34th. That is sprint orienteering. It's so brutal. Oh, goodness me. Well, a couple of really good Czech athletes here at the moment. We just see Katarina Stepova. Here's Hanna Vitkova. She ran the first leg for Czech's first team, so is part of that winning team. It's her second Junior World Championships. She's got a bronze medal from EYOC in the long distance before, and yeah, she's going to be another one of those to watch. Goodness me, drama on this race. We're looking for Alva Bjork, and you mentioned already that she lost some time early on in the race. She was down in 29th at the first TV control, but she's caught up places here. Certainly had a better second part of her race.
Much better second part. So she was bouncing back 29 at the first TV control, 19 at the second TV control, and now 10 spots in the finish for Alva Bjork.
There we go, those standings at the finish. Alva Bjork all coming in there in equal 10th place. But still, Selina Sandvald and Kati Hotz from Liti Dietrichova. You have to, you just lose 20 seconds on one control, and that's pretty much the end of your race. It's so tricky out there. You really have to get everything right to be able to be, even just in this top 20, as you can see there. Just a shout out for the Croatian Doja Salopek there. Fantastic result from there. Still, and also an Italian in the top 20 as well, with Silvia Di Stefano. Okay,
and also the news for Eli Punto. She has passed that first TV control, and she's 13 spot for her, so she's 20 seconds off the pace of Celine Sandvold.
Yes, we've not seen many people make that big of a climb from that 20 seconds down back up to be in amongst the medal positions. We will see what she's able to do. It's a really punishing. Any mistake is so punishing.
It's all about keeping your orienteering together and making the right route choice and the right navigation throughout the course, not make any mistakes, any big mistakes like we saw Loic Berger. She's compared with the silver medal position from Katiot. She's only 8 seconds behind, and 8 seconds in this type of sprint, it's nothing. It's just a small hesitation here or there.
Yep, Ellie Punto, as we were just talking about her, compared with Sandvald, tail is 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So Punto very soon at control 14, which is where we get the time check, where we get TV2. So we'll see if she's been able to close up any places. Probably is losing maybe a little bit more time. Here she is. Here's Ellie Punto. She is the defending champion. And climbing up the steps on her way to control 14 now. As we mentioned, she is down in 13th place and 20 seconds down at TV1, but close still to the second position to Katty Hotz, 8 seconds slower than Katty Hotz. But you can see she's lost more time now and she's lost places. Down in 14th place, 32 seconds.
Yeah, maybe the hot weather is proving hard for the finish.
Yeah, I think it could be. They do some warm weather, you know, trading in the winter, but it's been quite a cold spring in Finland.
Yeah, and the Portuguese Alexandra Serra Campos at the start line together with Ion Jacob from Romania. And this is also one of the names that we need to look into. David Baumberger from Switzerland. He was running some selection races down in Italy, and he was the winner of those selection races. So he's quite used about running on this sort of sprints. Let's see how the young Swiss runner will be able to cope with the course today.
Lucie Godion from France, just outside the top 20. Control number 14. See if we're waiting for another couple of runners. This is the drone shot of the test today. You can see the very flat section on the left hand side, the steeper hilly section. See all the houses jumbled up together. You've got all these different alleyways going through them. That's really what makes it so tricky, and it's basically the map is the whole village here. So orienteering really taking over the whole village.
And they have so many of these small villages in Italy. It's really an orienteering paradise.
Yeah,
for the sprint, and not
it's
only
heaven
also for
orienteering.
Also for the forest. I was lucky to be around there, this area, 2 years ago, and the forest there is also very, very nice to run in.
Well, yeah, we'll see a lot of that as well over the next few days. But Vitkova goes outside the top 20 there. She ran the first leg for Czech 1 in the sprint relay. It's her second Junior World Championships, her second JWOC. But not the best start from her as well. And I do wonder if now the temperature is starting to affect some of these runners, possibly. It's really, really hot there as we catch up then with Katerina Stepova. She was the third fastest on the fourth leg for the sprint relay. And we'll take her up the steps here, but as you can see, she's already outside of the top 20. She was in 8th place, in fact, at TV1, but it's dropped time, as you can see there, from control 9 to control 12, losing 40 seconds. You really have to have an error-free run if you want a medal, and nobody at the moment close to the top 3 athletes on the women's class. Or even on the men's class as well. Okay, back at the start. Ida Koskinen from Finland.
He defends the 4th place
And
last year in
we have
Pilsen.
Jacopo Stocher from
Competition
Austria.
doesn't finish until the last
Hilda Koskinen, she has had some top 10 results in the youth European Championships in the sprint in 2023. She's a strong sprint runner.
This is Ellie Pinto. She's the defending champion into the finish here. And you can see she's going to be outside the top 10 for Ellie. We've also got Hannes Morgensen as well on his way in just behind her. And he must have made a huge mistake somewhere between the first and the second TV control because he's lost a minute in the mix there. And then dropping even more time. Let's look at Ellie Pinto's route first, though.
We have Baumberger on the way. 3 minutes running time.
I mean, the GPS gets a bit confused between the alleyways here, so you have to take it with a bit of a pinch of salt. Lots of runners have found 17 really tricky. And again, yeah, not the best route into 18 either.
Yeah, it would be good if we could understand the hesitations of the runners there, because that is sometimes much more important than the route itself.
That's so true. And actually, really, we are catching up with the runners on these TV cameras and these TV controls at one of the easier parts of the orienteering where there's less of the alleyways.
Fast
Okay,
running.
looking for Lucie Gaudion here. Yeah. She comes into the top 20 for the French athlete. Actually climbed some spots in the end, I think. Really strong.
And for me, from Portugal, the good news so far is that Leonor Ferreira is still doing the best result ever for the Portuguese in the sprint distance. So it would be good for her. She still has 1 more year to go as a junior. It would be good if she could beat already that best result in the sprint distance.
Yeah, what place is she currently in?
Yeah, I think 33, because yeah, so yeah.
And as a Brit, I'm still looking at James Hammond in 3rd place on the men's.
Yeah, that
I was
is
getting a bit
looking quite
nervous
good.
when I was looking a bit nervous when Loic Berger was doing really well. I thought I was going to push him out of the medal spot. It's looking okay at the moment. Leonie Mattis then climbing up towards the 14th control. We should see David Baumberger as well. Baumberger through the TV1 very soon. Mattis in the top 20 as well. The Swiss athlete. Coming into the finish, Katarina Stepova. Fighting hard, she's going to be just outside the top 10. Going to go into 13th place then, Katarina Stepova. 52 seconds down, or very equal time there with Emily Atkinson. Great running in the end. Maybe again made a bit of a mistake between the first and the second TV control. It's dropped from 15 seconds back to 54. Let's have a look, see if we can see what happened. Oh, there we go.
Mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do not forget Philip Janczyk will start.
So many mistakes about 11th control. I remember seeing
Yeah, because you have the map change there. Yeah, you have the map change there, and yeah, when you turn on the map, you really need to have it properly orientated, otherwise you will leave on the wrong direction. But a big shout out here for Alejandro Garrido Diaz from Spain. Right now, 5th spot for him at the finish. Just just 15 seconds off the pace of James Hammond. But
oh my
yeah,
God. And
really
he
nice to see.
lots of time on the end. This is, I mean, he looked
Yes,
very
indeed.
speedy.
Yes, indeed. So he was 30 seconds behind at TV2, and at the finish he's only 20 seconds out of the time of Tomasz Szczęka and Daniel Bolejowski.
And I think the results are a bit confused on our screen because I think he's actually in fourth place. So joint second place with Tomasz Zhenka and Daniel
Yeah, that's the
Bolachowski,
one.
James
Yes,
Hammond in
indeed. Yeah,
third,
yeah,
and
yeah,
Alejandro
yeah,
Garrido into fourth place.
yeah, yeah.
Whew,
So it's fourth place.
amazing
Oh,
result from Spain. I mean, Spain's got quite does tend to perform quite well in the sprint races close to the forest, but this is really good. And Vitkova here, will she be in the top 10 from Czechia? So she has actually climbed a few places here at the end. A really strong finish from Vitkova. Goes into equal 12th, equal with Eli Punto from Finland.
To you and to the Spanish team, it was a great quick result. Let's see what happens in the coming hours.
I just keep hearing the arena speaker just really bigging up Alejandro Garrido's result there from Spain. Fantastic performance. Let's have a look at Vitkova. Again, a mistake there at 11 at the exchange. I wonder if that control is just like tucked around the corner of the wall or something, because people keep running past it.
yeah, it's not. Probably they are already trying to look onto the next part of the map, and they lose some focus there and they lose a lot of precious seconds. But yeah, because from the map it looks quite simple. You just enter the right alleyway and you see the control right in front of you.
Okay, next up at the start, this is Adam Shridkavesely. Don't quote me on that one. But he ran the third leg for the Czech second team. He was the third fastest on his leg, so definitely one to watch.
Yeah, and now it's the time that we really need to make some suppositions about if the weather is paying at all. We had David Baumberger passing at the first TV control, 20 seconds off of the pace, and also Tomasz Urbanek passing there right now, also 20 seconds off the pace of the current leaders.
Yeah, that's hard to come back on, and yeah, it's just getting warmer and warmer every minute, really affecting the runners, I think, especially those Northern Europeans. But Leonie Mattis is coming into the finish now. Course up with her around the course, and again, I think it's just going to be outside the top 10, about a minute down on her teammate Selina Sandvald, who is still the leader. Nobody out there challenging her, nobody out there really challenging the top 5 at the moment in the women's or in the men's race. Can any of these challenge? Sigrid Schmidt-Gran there as well. And Marcus Hirsch ran second leg for the Norwegian first team. Oh, both of them nearly stopping there. They don't want to go that way. And this is what you have to balance. This is what we're not seeing in the TV cameras, is the fact that will be stopping and starting all the time. They're going to be making sure that they get exactly the right routes. And it's trying to not make too many of those hesitations, but controlling the speed enough such that you don't make a big mistake. You kind of want to hesitate if you're not going to stop yourself from making a mistake, but not do it too much, because then you're just going to be losing seconds every single time you do it. Oh, such a tough sprint race.
And it's like we said, it's much more important to be fluid in your orienteering than to catch all the right route choices all the time. Because here it's so easy to lose map contacts and be exitating and stopping and exitating, and then you cannot put your speed into the ground and you will lose the seconds that will take you out of the medals.
Yeah, especially some of the route choices are only like a couple of seconds difference. If you're making a hesitation of a couple of seconds, then you've basically lost maybe all the advantage you would make of doing a really good route choice. Very tricky.
You just need to choose and go and execute it well.
So some of the drone shots then of the flatter section, this more residential kind of area, these larger buildings. And this you can see on the men's course, the yeah, the kind of the challenge changes a little bit. You kind of have a respite, a small rest from these really small alleyways. This is Leonie Mattis, who we've seen fairly recently into the finish. Just checking her routes then.
And I think what Loic Berger did was he hit control number 17 in the women's class, because the control there for the men, it's a little bit more to the west side. So he hit that control, and yeah, and then from there on, we saw what happened.
Exactly. So there's only 3 more starters then in the women's class. This is Ingeborg Roll Mosland, and she was 7th in the sprint last year. She ran the first leg for Norway, won, and is she going to be one who's going to keep it interesting all the way to the end? Because she is certainly medal potential as well.
Yeah, I think that she's the last starter in the women's class that is really a medal contender for today's race. So she's the one that we really need to look out for on the next minutes.
Yeah, absolutely following her super closely. We've still got quite a maybe half an hour of the men's start list still to go. Let's look at Otreshko here.
The running time is 9 minutes 30 seconds now.
Alive with her now. You can see quite a way behind Sandvald. Sometimes when you see a run come up here, you know that there's like a mistake being made or something like that they want to highlight on the GPS, but I think not the case at this point.
Adam Shikavezali, Czechia, the 3rd new best time at the first radio control.
I'm hoping we can go to the first radio control, first TV control very soon, because Adam Shvidkavesely has done a fantastic start. As I mentioned, he was 3rd fastest on his leg in the sprint relay. And so could he be one of the still a few who could challenge the top spots on the men's class? I think we'll see him soon. Bigoni there, minute down at the moment, Italian. And we have already seen the Czech athlete Adam Shvidkavesely go through at this point. He was 10 seconds off the lead at that point. So 10 seconds behind James Hammond, who was quickest there, but quicker than Tomasz Zenka.
Hammond was in the first place, so he's only 3 seconds lower than Bolechowski. And he is faster than Zenka at the same radio control.
So if we're looking at the men's start list, who is still left to start, who could be challenging that joint lead at the moment?
Some position in the top 10 could be in danger.
Looking for Ida Koskinen, here she comes. Going to be outside the top 30, I think, for her. Here she is, Koskinen from Finland. Lots of cheers on from her teammate. And into the finish, about 2 minutes down. Into 44th position at the moment.
The winner with us, we have Mosland. Till yesterday, she was the defending champion, the reigning champion in the sprint relay.
So this is a recap of Koskinen's routes.
Maybe she is thinking about, okay, I will do it by myself. 3 minutes 30 seconds running time.
See those barriers just having to avoid there. Maybe not the best route into 17.
So we still have to wait some seconds, and we have a strong start, an impressive start by the Lithuanian Kasparas Moresan. And I can see Kasper Blackshear and Timoteus Burtovic. They are still waiting for the first radio control.
Okay, this is TV control number 2, waiting for Alessia Rigoni.
Gli atleti al punto 14 che stanno arrivando in questo momento. Intanto abbiamo, ecco qui, allora Alessia Rigoni, 1 minuto e 30 lo sconto.
Here she is, about a minute and a half down on Sandwald.
Tempo il punto 14 con 1 e 32.
But we should be having Ingeborg Roll-Musland into the first TV control very soon. So watch out for her. She's probably the last of the women who could make a really big impact.
And I think that's pretty soon also Adam will pass the second TV control on the men's class.
Yeah, we hopefully can watch to see, because he was only 10 seconds down on the lead at TV control 1, and in fact ahead of one of the current leaders at the finish. So we should see him really soon. Here's Ingeborg Roll-Musland. That doesn't look like a Norwegian kit. We're having trouble with our cameras here. He's in fact one of the Italians. Here's a Norwegian, here she comes. The third to last starter, and how is she going to be able to challenge? Well, she's not going to be able to challenge the top spot of Sandwald. Oh, I think Sandwald looks quite safe. She's 20 seconds, going to be about over 20 seconds behind in the end. 25 seconds for Mosland. And it's so much to be able to catch that up. I think it looks really good for Selina Sandwald to take the title. Let's have a look at Mosland versus Sandwald. Some time there to 8. And live with Mosland as she goes through the arena passage.
Yeah, so it's looking very, very good for Switzerland and for Celine Sandwald. Looking like gold medal for her today. Best way to bounce back after that missed punch on yesterday's sprint relay.
And you mentioned it right as you saw her on the start line, didn't you? That she's going to want to, you know, that'll give her some extra fire in her belly because she made that mistake yesterday.
Yeah, and she was very focused all the way. She did, like, again, I think she did that suboptimal route choice for number 18, but it was a very safe one, and she kept navigating at full speed, everything under control. So yeah, it was a really solid performance by Celine Sandwald today.
So have you seen the route of Adam Schwid-Gaveseli? Because he has made a mistake. We've got him pre-warned to TV2, but he's lost a lot of time. I don't know if you've seen where that happened.
Yeah, I'm trying to look because the last part of the route seems to be quite good.
Yeah, well, he's gone into TV2 and he's 1:17 down, and he was within 10 seconds of the lead at TV1, and he's lost a huge amount of time.
He did 2 bad route choices. First one to control number 15, that is like suboptimal, but then to 16, yeah, he went a long way around, so he has lost some time there for sure. But I think that more than the time, I think it's physical, because I don't see any big mistakes from him. So the line, it's not the optimal route choice, but the line it's good, so no mistake.
Maybe just started off really quick and just couldn't keep it up.
And probably the weather also paying some toll. But I think that we have some news on the men's class. Ewan Best from Australia will come to the first TV control pretty soon with a really strong time.
So Mosland just through there. As you can see the tracking there, so within 25 seconds. She was, as we kind of said, the last one who could really challenge, but it looks so good for Sandwald, and in fact it looks good for the top 3, for Selina Sandwald, Katy Hott and Lucy Dietrichova. I mean, they look clear medalists today. I don't think there's anything Mosland can do to be able to catch that amount of time.
And also it looks very good for Fanny Delahaye from France. Seems like she's going to get a really nice fourth position. So good to see her. She's still very young, born in 2007. So still 2 more years on the junior class. So yeah, looks very good for her.
Yeah, one to watch out for future years as well. At the finish here, waiting for more runners into the finish. Just trying to find out who we're waiting for as I look down the live results. Is Vezvani next into the finish, inside the top 30. But hopefully we can go to TV1 because there is some fast times being set at TV control number 1. Bruno, I don't know if you spotted what I've spotted.
Yeah. Like we said, one of the fast guys from yesterday, Jonas Fenne Inger from Norway, is flying out there. He already passed TV number 1, and his time 4 minutes and 58 seconds. So this means that he's 8 seconds faster than Daniel Bolejovski and 20 seconds faster than Tomasz Zdenka. So looking very good for Jonas Fenne.
Really is. Adam should give Vesely just through there, as you can see, number 143, but making mistakes out there, so not going to be in the top spots. We're waiting nearly, we should see Kasparas Mirenas also running well, but this is Sigrid Schmidt-Gran into the finish. She'll be more than 2 minutes behind though here. We should in the next minute or so see Ingeborg Roll-Mösland. She's just come through TV control 2. We saw her through there in the pictures.
She's already on her way to the second last control and then into the finish. I think it's going to be a top 10 position for Ingeborg today, but not a podium position for her. So it's quite clear that on the women's class, the world champion, the junior world champion, will be Celine Sandvold, silver medalist Kati Ots, bronze medalist Lucy Dietrichova, and then 4th place for Annie Delaye, 5th place Victoria Shkashova, together with Henriette Radzikovski. So this is the top 6 girls that will go to the podium to get the diplomas and the medals. And it's so good to see Switzerland with 3 girls on the top 6. It's crazy.
But Ingeborg Roll-Mösland is on her way into the finish very, very shortly. Here she is, kind of the last of our top names here on this women's class. And she is outside the top 6, as we said, just punching that last control there, heading towards the finish line. And she's going to try and sneak in the top 10, just outside of it in the end. Just, there we go, equal with Alva Bjork in the top 10. And then I think we can call it then. We have our new junior world champion in the women's class, Selina Sandvald from Switzerland. 2nd place to Kati Hotz, also from Switzerland. 3rd place to Lucy Dietrichova from Czechia. And that is the women's race all wrapped up. Some big names not making it even into the top 10. Ellie Punto into 13th place. Evelina Oyanaho into 19th place. Some of our big names. Janka Mikas into 27th place from Hungary. Oh, where did Rita Marmarosi end up? I'm trying to spot her.
Janka Mikas 27.
Rita Marmarosi. Oh, Rita Marmarosi mispunched at the end. Ah, oof. There we go. She's not even in the results list.
Yeah, it's a pity for her, but still some races to go in this championship.
Exactly. She's got time to refresh and move to the forest.
We should focus. we should focus now on the men's side because pretty soon into the second TV control will be Jonas Fenne Ingert. Here he goes. Oh,
Yeah,
he's
just kind of
doing.
passing there. This is a strange route choice, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he will lose some time here, do you think?
Yeah, he's doing. Not sure what he has done here.
Well, he went west
It's
after the
weird on
previous
this.
control, I think.
Yeah,
Let's get
yeah.
the time.
It's not the best route choice there, but he was executing it very well. So still leading this race. So still leading 5 seconds ahead of James Hammett, but 18 seconds ahead of Boliowski and 27 seconds ahead of Tomasz Zenka.
Yes, this could be a new leader late into this race from Norway. So we will see. Let's just check the final results out for the women. As you can see there, great to see Nia Schindler in 7th place there for Australia. Got to point
And
that one
Ilse,
out.
yes, and also Ilse Jumike from Latvia. We talked about her in the beginning of the transmission. She's still also very young, born in 2007, so also a name for the future there. Then one of the favorites, Evalina Oyanajo, 19th place, the reigning, the former junior world champion Elin Punto, 13th place for her in the final standings. Silvia Di Stefano, 24th place. Was Isabel Auer the best Brit?
No, it was Emily Atkinson who was the best Brit, who was in, just looking back, in 15th place. Izzy Howard in 25th.
And then we saw there the Portuguese Leonor Ferreira, 39. She was 3 places off the record, so still something for her to fight for next year's JWOC. But again here, the big shout out is for Celine Sandwald, the new junior world champion in the sprint distance.
So this is a replay. This is Tomasz Zenka, who is our current leader, or one of our current leaders in the finish, alongside Daniel Bolachowski, who I think we will probably get a replay of very, very soon. But we wait at the finish. In a couple of minutes, we may see a new leader at the finish. These are the current standings. So Daniel Bolachowski and Tomasz Zenka in a joint lead. James Hammond into 3rd. I think this is you and Beth coming into the finish here. Lost a bit of time at the end, possibly inside the top 25 though. But we should very, very soon be looking out for the Norwegian Jonas Fenne Ingerd to see if he will set a new fastest time.
He's almost at the second last control. He's flying to the terrain, no problems whatsoever. And I really think that we will have the new best time in the men's class. And who knows, we will see the next junior world champion in the sprint distance in the men's class. He's really flying in the terrain. He has punched the pre-warning. It is very clear we will have the new best time. Here he comes.
Yeah, here he comes. It's a Norwegian, Jonas Fenne Ingerd, and he is absolutely flown around this one. He was the fastest on his leg in the sprint rally. He's going to back it up here with a great performance to take a new lead. Will this be the gold medal for Norway today? Under 13 minutes. So pleased with his run. As you can tell, that is incredibly quick all the way around, proving that it can be done in the heats here in Italy. Incredible work. Just took some great route choices, and yeah, he's in the gold medal spot. There's not many who can challenge now at all. What a fantastic performance.
No, it is truly amazing how he could cope with the heat, cope with the route choices, cope with the navigation. Again, like we said, he didn't always did the best route choice, but he was executing it very well throughout the whole course. Like here to this 16, losing not the ideal route choice, but he was executing it super well. Good route choice to 19. No mistake to number 20, and the right route choice to number 21 there. And Jonas Fenne Ingerd may well be the next junior world champion in the sprint distance.
Yeah, what names are left on the start list who could challenge? Who are the top athletes who could challenge? I was going to say Antoine
Well,
Derlot, but he's already 30 seconds down at the first TV control.
yeah, he's right now going into the second TV control, and he's like 27 seconds behind Jonas Venne Ingert, so he will not threaten the lead. So maybe only Filip Jančík from Slovakia is one of the guys that can threaten this lead. Filip Jančík last year was the fourth position, so he's really good also in the sprint distance. But this performance by Jonas Venne Ingert is amazing.
We love to see good orienteering. We love to see super competitive racing. And when we've had like that top three the same for so long, just to see someone challenge it, change the leaderboard. It's so exciting. We're looking for Derlot there, just punching that into 15th place. He was actually the fastest on leg 2, ran for France. He was 10th in the sprint last year, so one of the ones we wanted to watch out for.
Yeah, but let's try to hear some words about Jonas Venne in the background.
Luckily, I could manage to handle the nerves, so it went well.
Did you like the course? Was it tricky or was it fast? How did you find it?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty typical of Italian sprints. Really tricky some parts, but also a couple of controls where you could run pretty fast, so yeah, it was fun.
Thank you so much. Good job today.
Yep, so you could say it was a fun run, very typical, very what you would expect from this kind of Italian kind of hillside slope, small village. And really, I mean, these athletes put so much effort. There's like pre-JWOC camps kind of from a year before, lots of kind of camps in the run-up in the spring, in relevant terrain, you know, and a lot these athletes having to put in all this training alongside studying as well. It's super tricky for them, and they put so much time into training in this relevant terrain. It's obviously their biggest target for the whole year, and they put a lot of effort into that.
So Jakob Knuf from New Zealand on his way to the second TV control. He will be more than 30 seconds off the pace of Jonas Venne Ingert.
Junior world champion for Switzerland, and Kati Hotze is your and our new silver medal in the sprint distance.
There in 2:20, so although 19th place. Back at the finish, this is Tamas Balatoni from Hungary, coming into the finish, fighting into the finish. In the hot sun, a heat wave over the whole of Southern Europe at the moment. Tough conditions, and they're into the finish. So about just over 10 more athletes still to start then on the men's race. Janko Zivkov from Serbia next to start. We should see Antoine Derlot into the finish quite soon from France. Waiting for him at the finish.
On his way. He's on his way to the last control. It's still a very good performance for him. He's still fighting for a place among the podium, fighting against the Spanish Alejandro Garrido Diaz.
Is he going to get in there? Is he going to get into the top 6? I think he does. So he's going to go 5th place. Yes, just ahead of Müller from Switzerland. And as you said, pushing the Spanish athlete Alejandro Garrido into 7th place, I think, there. In fact, actually, we've Delo goes 5th and Diaz into 6th, I think.
Yeah, 6th. Yeah, 6th. So still a podium position for Alejandro Garrido Diaz. So it's right now Jonas Vene Inger in gold medal position, Tomasz Rzenka and Daniel Boliowski in silver medal position. Fourth place for James Ammon, fifth place Antoine Derlot, new fifth place, and sixth position for Alejandro Garrido Diaz.
So Antoine Derlot was back in 40th place at TV control number 1, pulled all the way up into 5th place. I mean, just that speed in the middle and the end of the course, super impressive, as I think we just missed so Anton Frenzel into 15th place at the first TV control. But back at the start, we've still got a few more runners to start. Another of the Polish runners, Antoni Trzeciak.
44th when we had the twin radio control, so you didn't look very well, but then you made you offered an astonishing performance and you finished 5th. So tell us about your race. It's so exciting.
Yeah, I know I'm not very good at the beginning of races. I like to start in the race calmly. So I think it's more or less physically that I took a lot of time.
Okay, waiting in the terrain. I think we're on the way to TV1. Looking for the next runner. This is one of the German runners, Till Buchberger. And the athletes so tightly packed at this stage. It's such a long start list. 181 men on the start list, 162 women. It's such a tight competition. Big teams from the nations as well. Patel Kulvik next to start. And Bruno, a reminder of how the start list is done, because it's not seeded. How is it decided, the start list?
No, so it's the teams that will decide which runners will start on the early start block, the middle start block, and the late start block. So if you have a full team, 6 runners in each gender, you can choose which 2 will start on the early, which 2 will start on the middle, will start on the late start block. Of course, I think here for the sprint, since there are no pads in the terrain that will be heading, it can be a good strategy to go into the middle one so that you avoid a little bit the heat. But we see that some of the big names on the men's class, they are running last, like Jonas Vene Ingert. Of course, it's always good when you pass at the arena and you hear your time to compare, and you know that if you are running well or if you need to speed up, because that's always a good reference that the first starters do not have it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the starting last is probably gives you more of an advantage in the forest, though, compared to in the sprint.
Yeah, indeed. In the forest, especially when you have 180 men running, there will be some tracks, that's for sure, at least going in and out of the control points. So it's an advantage to run on the last part of the start list. But I'm not sure if we are going to look at this tomorrow, because it's 6 hours of start list nearly, and the last starters will really start on the heats on a long distance. It's going to be interesting to analyze the strategy of each of the teams. And Catherine, I was looking here onto the GPS of Anton Derlot, because it seems like he has lost all the time in the beginning of the course, before the first TV control, where he really did like some suboptimal route choices there, not mistakes, but suboptimal route choices, because from TV control number 1 to the finish is really running on a pace quite close to Jonas Vene Ingert. From TV control number 1 to the finish, he only loses 8 seconds compared with Jonas Vene Ingert. And again, the gap for Jonas Vene compared to the second guys is 23 seconds. So yeah, some good things for Antoine Derlot to look forward to.
Anton Wenzel next on the picture, and you can see there how you know, it's so easy to run down the wrong alleyway, and even if you only take a couple of steps in the wrong direction, that's where the seconds add up.
Yeah. Yeah, on this terrain is always like this. And again, like you said, Catherine, several times, this is the easy part of the course when we have the TV control. This is not the intricate part of the terrain.
No, here it's easy. You get up to this level, you keep running, you see the control, you know you just keep going. So I think the TV controls have been quite kind to the athletes, because it's not, you know, so if you've had on this section around 6, 7, 8, 9 here, where there's route choices, there's the barriers in place, there's the changes of direction. We will see
For example,
a lot more stop starts where we see the best of the athletes
yeah.
orienteering at this control.
For example, you saw the line from Ingert going from 8 to 9. That I think it's probably the safest and the one that you can run fast. Antoine Derlot, he went up to the canopy and then down, and I could understand some hesitations from his part there. So he lost some time on that route choice, or more on that execution of that route choice.
And that's what you have to weigh up when you're making the route choices. It's not just the distance, it's the climb, it's the steps, it's how many turns you've got to make, and it's also how easy it is to execute. There's so many things. I mean, it's not really of course, there's lots of route choices, but when there is a route choice, there's so many factors to kind of put into your decision making.
Yeah, especially here. But for the current leader, Jonas van Engert, what I was very impressed with was the running speed. You saw his running speed on this upper part. He was running much faster than everybody else. So he was really running on a class of his own. And if in the end he will be the world champion, the junior world champion, it will be a well-deserved win, because he managed to put it up physically and also technically.
Yeah, and I always think when you have the cameras out in the terrain, it's really hard to get a sense of how steep it is.
Yeah, and now probably the last big name on the start list, Filip Jančík. He was fourth in the sprint last year, just outside of the medals. So for sure he will want to get a medal this year. Still one more year of junior ahead of him. He was born in 2006. Let's see how his shape is going to be.
So we will really keep a close eye on his route and on his times through all the TV controls, because he is the last athlete to be able to challenge. There he goes, gets the map, folds it up straight away. Looks very, very calm. You take in so much information in just one glance of the map for these top athletes. They read the detail, they make the choice, they take in and process so much information. He's one of the Portuguese athletes you'll be glad to see.
Yeah, Tiago Oliveira. Really good to see him perform. He's still very young. So he's going to the Youth European Championship in 2 weeks' time. That's his main goal of the season. But it's good to see him performing well here.
So the time will stop at the next control. We see him come up the hill here. And again, a shout out for all our running camera operators putting in a great job. To be able to follow the athletes through the terrain is really, really cool on the broadcast. Anton Wenzel next to come to the finish. Inside the top 30, not quite. So close for places here. Seconds dividing these athletes. 31st in the end for the Frenchman. So French athletes at the moment in 5th, in 9th, in 16th with Simon Collandry, in 24th with Nathan Philibert, 26th with Antonin Chasselin. So lots of depth in the French squad.
Yeah, the French they are very, very strong on the sprint distance, that's for sure. Also in the women's class with that 4th position for Fanny Delahaye. Really good day for French orienteering today.
So the last start then here on this Junior World Championships sprint race. Niklas Ochenbauer from Austria. All of the men out in the terrain now. Only a few more minutes will we see. Oh, Axeli Pessu on his way to split control number 1. Is this going to be a mistake here? Can't remember. We've seen many of the others go that way.
Yeah, he's taking the different route choice, or no, or a mistake.
And this is what we haven't seen much of course.
Oi.
Pessu, he's on his way to the 10th control, and yeah, he should, where we caught him up, he should have gone and made a turn there, and he's now gone much too far west on his way to 10th control.
Okay, so this is not a big mistake. This is a huge mistake
because
by
he should have come around this corner. That's where we met him with the TV camera. He should have come around that corner. I thought it looked strange.
Yeah,
but
we haven't seen
this part.
Yeah, we haven't seen this part of the city yet, so it was a little sightseeing tour. But yeah, so we will be a bit outside of the contenders, more than 1 minute behind already with that big mistake.
Yeah, he almost made a parallel mistake, went down to the next kind of sharp bend, and it goes to a dead end there, basically. This is what happened. Went down to there, had to go back. There we go. It's so tricky. And as you said, if you lose map contact for 5 seconds, suddenly, with a high speed going down the slope there, that's what happens.
And then it's like you feel like you are in a different dimension because you totally don't know where you are. Everything is very similar. It's hard to relocate. And when you have the pressure of having someone running behind you, then it's even harder. Now I was going to start to speak Portuguese. Tiago Oliveira. Yeah, good to see him. He's going to be the best Portuguese on today's race. And I think that is even going to beat Hannes Mogensen. Yeah. Let's wait for the final punch. Yeah, 37 position for him in the first JWOC ever, so really good to see him.
So Kulvik, you can see there, on his way to the 17th control. I'm just trying to look out for the punch of Filip Jančík. Not sure whether we've seen that yet. The first TV control, just trying to spot him.
Yeah, he's still coming down.
He's still coming down to the first TV control.
Yeah, he's coming to the first TV control. I think he's a little bit too late compared with the leading times.
Here he is. You can catch him up and we'll see where he goes. He was maybe one of the last contenders, but you can see already the time is too slow. He's going to be more than 40 seconds down. So, yeah, that's it. He can't climb that. He can't catch that back at all.
Yeah. He did not the best line to control number 9. I think it was like same mistake as Antoine Derlot on the route choice there. That really paid out in time.
So I think, we can now start to hang a gold medal. Well, we were already pretty much hanging the gold medal around Jonas Svenne Ingerd's neck, but yeah, that should be the win then for the Norwegian.
Yeah,
nobody can challenge.
Yeah, I think it is very, very clear that Norway should be happy, and Jonas Svenne Ingerd will be the next junior world champion in the sprint distance. It was a very good performance for him, well-deserved win. I don't think that no one can beat his time. That is very clear.
And nobody can beat what we have a joint silver medal as well.
Yeah. And it's it's a little bit common in JWOC to have this type of shared medals. When it was in the JWOC that we organized in Portugal, we had a shared three guys in the bronze medal position, so it was nice.
Did you have enough medals?
Yeah, no, then we had to send the medals, or IOF had to send the medals afterwards. We used some medals from some other races, and then we had to send it back. Yeah,
Oh my
you
God.
never expect to have three guys on the same medal.
No, you maybe planned for two, but not for three.
Yeah.
That's so unheard of. I remember that reminded me of the world champs in Denmark, where they didn't have enough flags for the British girls who were in first and third on the sprint race, so they had to go and borrow one from some of the British fans. The organisers were very, very apologetic. But we were very happy to lend them a flag, of course. Axeli Pesu, we saw the mistake from him earlier on.
Yeah, but he's climbing back. So yeah, he was outside of the top 100. Now he's already inside the top 100. So he's keeping his focus all the way to the finish. That's good to see.
Okay, we wait for a few more athletes through. And the standings at the finish, very likely to be the final results. Jonas Feine, Ingrid, and then that shared silver medal between Daniel Podachowski of Czechia and Tomasz Zenka from Poland. Amazing to see Poland up there in a medal spot. Fantastic, fantastic work from him. James Hammond into fourth place, just outside the medals. But look at that, 6 different nations in the top 6. José Müller just in the top 6 there, and Spain in 7th place as well. And this is what I love as well about sprinting. So many different nations can be in the top spots. Look at that. We've got New Zealand with Felix Hunt. We've got Denmark in there. We've got Hungary. We've got Peride Geo from the home nation of Italy. Loads and loads of athletes kind of challenging for those spots. Great as well to see Adam Methven in the top 20. Really strong run from him. Quite experienced at junior world champs level now. 2 Italians there next to each other, Matteo Corona, Samuel Achler. Okay, let's catch up with Filip Jancic.
Yeah,
He will go up here.
Yeah, he'll be more than 40 seconds out of the pace of Jonas Venne Ingert. And it's, yeah, even for the place among the top 10, it's going to be very hard for him.
Yeah, you can see that time, most of that time lost in the very first section of the race before he got to control 9. And they're outside the top 20.
Yeah, but if you look at the speed of Jonas Venne Ingert passing here and Filip Jancic's, it's totally a different style of orienteering. Jonas Venne was really, really fast in the terrain, both in the running speeds and also with his navigation. You saw there, this route choice for Jancic was a little bit better than Ingert, but Ingert was executing it, everything to the perfection.
So live there with Jancic. Of course, the GPS a little bit kind of behind real time. And you do have to use your imagination a bit when you see the GPS tracking. It does not get very good signal in all of these like small, tiny alleyways. It kind of gives us a rough idea of the route choice they've taken. And I mean, some of the technical wizards behind the orienteering technology have been scratching their head for years to try and make a good way for us to show all the route choices on the sprint when you don't get good GPS coverage. They've not quite cracked it yet.
Yeah, it's very, very hard, especially on these terrains where you have so many canopies and so many small streets close to each other.
So Akseli Pesu from Finland, after his early mistake climbing back a few places. And we've only got 5 more guys out in the terrain before we wrap up this sprint competition. David Cesar from Slovakia next to the finish. It is super warm out there. So tricky. And whilst it shouldn't really affect the runners that much on the sprint race, I think it's doing a little bit. It's the long distance that's going to be really hard.
Yeah, well, also here, again, from a sports physiology point of view, when the weather is like this, you just need to assume that your performance is not going to be the same. Because physically, with such a hot weather, it's much harder to thermoregulate the body. So you need to assume that you are going to be a little bit slower than what you were supposed to do if the weather was like 20 degrees. And in orienteering, then you just focus on your own navigation and try to execute it quite well. But for the long, yeah, that is going to be a challenge, even though the terrain looks like it's going to be a lot of forests. It's going to be very covered in the trees, but yeah, it will be hot for sure.
So here's Filip Jančík here into the finish. We'll take him through all the way to the finish line. He's going to be outside the top 10 here, punching the last control, and then on the final few stages, final few meters, crossing the line into 14th place there, and actually catching up quite a few places in the end, because he was, if I remember, I think in about 25th when we saw him through the TV control number 2. So a great finish, and could really, there's not really very many parts of the race where you can push at full speed, maybe only in these last few meters. Some of the controls in the south where it gets a little bit flatter as well. And straight into the analysis there, you can see the map the athletes get.
Yeah, it's 2 sides of a map. So you have the map flip after the arena passage, both for the men and the women.
But yes, with that finish there, a reminder, it will be new Junior World Championship title for Norway for Jonas Fenner Ingjerd, and a shared silver medal for Tomasz Rozhenka from Poland and Daniel Bolachowski from Czechia. Again, all of these names going to be contenders in the forest as well. Let's take a little look at, I think we should see the final results there. Yep, lining up there. As I mentioned before, well, in fact, 9 different nations in the top 10. France has 2 there, Antoine Derlot and Arthur Perrin. But I just love seeing so many different nations up in the top
Yeah, it's so
spots.
good. And again, a good result from a runner from down under, Jake McCallan from New Zealand in 8th position. Really good to see that one. And also the Spanish, Alejandro Garrido Diaz, 7th position, just outside of the podium.
Yeah, and the Belgian as well. We haven't mentioned the Belgian, Jorn Kenneth.
Yeah, the Belgian runner, yeah.
Yeah,
very good.
in 10th position. We've got to see the Slovakian Filip Jančík just gone into that spot. Really good, and lots of, just as you tick down here, they're about 1 minute off the lead, but there's just a few seconds in them. It shows how close this race was, how fast, and actually what a great performance a lot of these athletes put in to be so close together. But we have seen, I don't know, how do you kind of look back over the whole race? We've seen mistakes, we've seen route choice errors. What we haven't seen is, I think, what was happening a lot in the terrain, which is a lot of hesitations and a few small steps in the wrong directions as well.
Yes, indeed. And in the women's class, then we had the new junior world champion, Celine Sandvold, and the silver medal for Kat Yachts, and the bronze for Lucy Didrikova. So here, not so many countries in the top 10, but good to see Nea Schindler from Australia and Ilza Jumika from Latvia in the top 10.
down, please, the top 3 men 20. Jonas Feningerd, Tomasz Rejca, and Daniel Bolechowski, together with Celine Sandvald.
So I think we will get ready to prepare the flower ceremonies and hopefully hear from our 2 winners as well. Great to hear from Celine Sandvald and from Jonas Ingrid to find out how they kind of reflect on the races. Selina Sandvald has had quite a lot of time to think about her race now. Maybe do some analysis as well, do some cooling down, getting some recovery, getting some rest in already before the long distance race. So we will at least have a look. Let's have a recap then of the top 3 on the women's race.
Yeah, so you see that Celine Sandvald was really on the leads from the beginning of the course. She was really avoiding the stairs there on that first control, so really good lines between the controls. Good route choice here to number 9, so Katiots was losing some precious seconds on that route choice to number 9. And then Katiots taking this route choice outside to number 16. And here is where I think Celine Sandvald lost some seconds to that number 18 route choice, but she was executing it well. She lost some seconds, but in the end, it was good enough for a fantastic gold medal performance by the Swiss Celine Sandvald. And again, this is what we like to see in JWOC, is the runners together at the finish. And here the top 3 in the men's side. So Jonas Feningerd already from the beginning, taking the lead. Even though he was not using the optimal routes, he was executing it well and running quite fast between the controls. With Rezenka here taking a different route choice to that first TV control and losing some seconds to Daniel Bolechowski. You see that Jonas Feningerd was always leading the race, so there was no one threatening him all the way. But Tomasz Rezenka was behind the Bolechowski there. And here is where Rezenka starts to close the gap with Jonas Feningerd just cruising through the controls. Good lines between the controls, perfect orienteering all the way. And here with this route choice to number 19, Tomasz Rezenka managed to get closer to Bolechowski. And with a strong finish, he managed to close the gap and get a silver medal together with the Czech runner. So gold medal for Norway, Jonas Feningerd, and shared silver medal for Poland and Czechia, Tomasz Rezenka and Daniel Bolechowski. And in fact, for Poland, this is tied best results ever in a sprint at JWOC.
Quality stat there. It's still got such a nice atmosphere, as you mentioned, at the finish. Lots of athletes, comparing their routes, chatting to each other as well. There's a spectator races, 5 days of races going on alongside this competition. So a lot of parents of the athletes here taking part in those. A lot of just orienteering fans and orienteering competitors taking part in those races as well, wanting to experience a bit of what these junior athletes are gonna do and the terrain that they've been tackling, and I think probably the races tend to take part on the terrain after the juniors have done their competitions.
Yeah, the first open stage of the 5 days of Italy that are the parallel race to this Junior World Orienteering Championship was in Val di Sella, and I ran there 2 years ago. Lovely forest, so for sure all the spectators are having also a blast running on the terrains in Italy.
I mean, it looks super steep though. I mean, can a forest be that nice when it's that steep?
Yeah, well, physically you need to be in shape, of course. It's no miracle, but it's so enjoyable because you are on the hillside. You need to go.
So we're here with
those-
Jonas, the winner
Oh.
of today's sprint race. How was it?
It was crazy cool. Such a cool race in a beautiful town. So I enjoyed it the whole way. Got in the flow from the start, and it just, like the controls just came to me. It was crazy cool.
You already had a very good race yesterday. Was it better today?
Yeah, I don't know. Yesterday was, I would say, perfect. And I knew I had the physical and technical thing today. So I kept it together, and I would say today was perfect as well. Can't be better than that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a perfect race from the GPS tracking. He's clearly full of confidence as well. Yeah, super nice to see.
And in such a tight race, winning with 23 seconds advantage, it's huge. So yeah, Jonas van Engert is really to congratulate, and he really deserves this gold medal.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got to try and then take that form over into the forest as well. Will definitely be one of our ones to watch as we head into the forest races. Got the long, the middle, and the relay still to come. I'm hoping we can stick around basically and hear from the winner of the women's race, Selina Sandveld, who we haven't heard from yet. And we've got the flower ceremony going on as well. I think we have to try and try and track down the Swiss runner. I mean, what a beautiful part of the world here, nestled in amongst the mountains, in amongst the hills. A gorgeous place. No wonder there's so many spectators coming to have a little orienteering holiday as well. My favorite kind of holiday.
And then now they can go to the lake and have a bath there.
We're here with the winner of today's sprint race in the women's class. How was your race today?
I really liked the race. I felt good physically, and I was focusing on the technical part because it was really tricky, and I had to stay on the map every time and just focus on the now that I get the right corners and the right little tracks. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Did you have any specific preparation for this terrain, or was it new to you?
We prepared as a team in this terrain a bit, and in Switzerland we also have a bit similar terrain with the small streets and stuff, but yeah, not that much of specific training.
Okay, thank you so much. Good job today.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Yeah, Switzerland has lots of these little villages, maybe not quite the same, but nestled in amongst the hills. We've been on pre-JWOC camps. The teams will have made their own maps. There wasn't an old map of this area, so a lot of times between the teams they try and they try and make their own maps. This is how the medal table then looks then. A win each for Czechia, Switzerland and Norway, but a silver and a bronze as well for Czechia puts them at the top of the medal table. I don't think we'd have expected to see Poland necessarily on that list. So once again, fantastic result from Poland. I think we are getting ready for the flower ceremonies as well. We'll try and
it should start it should start in a few minutes, the flower ceremony for this sprint. And Catherine, tomorrow the long distance is going to be a hard day in the forest there for these young juniors.
Yeah, it really, really is. I'm just going to look ahead and see the terrain, the challenges that we're going to have. Women, they've got 8 kilometers. Men, 10 kilometers, expected winning time of 70 minutes for them. 21 controls for both, and the climb as well. For the women, 410 meters of climb. For the men, 500 meters of climb. It's so much climb in these courses. They'll have been doing lots of hill reps as part of their training. So A big challenge. 1 to 15,000 map, of course, as well, which a lot of the juniors, still getting kind of used to. But let's do the flower ceremony for the men's race. For the top three, we have the actual medal ceremony a bit later. We have the top 6 on the podium. But we have two men in the silver medal position, taking the silver medal home with them. Tomasz Wyszenka from Poland, the first to be announced, and joined by Daniel Bolachowski, who picks up his second medal. And also with a great performance, the winner then today. It's been a bit hasty in getting up on the top of the podium. There he is, Jonas Ingerd from Norway. 23-second win in the end. A huge performance from him. Very well deserved, standing at the top of the podium. And what I love as well in the junior classes is just how much the teams get so excited when one of their runners does well. You can hear all the cheering on at this flower ceremony. They really want to lend their voice to shout for their teammates. They want to, they want to cheer them on. They want to be there for them. They want to be kind of living vicariously through their teammates when they take a win like that. It's so nice to see.
And about these runners, Czechia has 2 athletes that already have 2 medals, Lucy Dietrikova and Daniel Bolachowski. So individually, they are the 2 guys that are ahead of everybody else. And now they go into their own domain, Catherine, because both Daniel Bolachowski and Lucy Dietrikova, they are much more forest orienteers than sprint orienteers. So it's going to be nice to check how they will perform tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a few athletes here who will, as well as those 2 you just mentioned, be glad to get the sprint behind them, and we're really looking forward to the forest, which is their preference. Okay, we'll move to the flower ceremony for the women's class. Decided a little bit earlier today. Oh, hang on, wait a moment. It's such a new experience for some of these athletes, not for Lucy Dietrikova, because she's been on the podium lots of times before, a bronze medal for her, and as you mentioned, not even in her preferred discipline. But great to see her get another medal for Czechia. And then we've got 2 Swiss athletes on the podium. Kathi Hock gets the silver medal. We'll get her flowers now. And it was, in the end, these 3 athletes just separated by 5 seconds. The winner today, Selina Sandwald, also from Switzerland, a winning time of 12 minutes. Incredibly quick around the course today. And then we'll just take that confidence into the forest races as well. Great work for all 3 of the athletes as they celebrate new junior world champions. A party atmosphere you can hear there in the arena. And great congratulations to those 3.
This is what JWOC is all about. It's about the competition, really hard and tough competition. Some of these runners will be the world's best in the next years, but also this social environment and the sharing of experience between the countries and the athletes.
Absolutely. Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching this sprint race today. Fast, furious, mistakes. We saw route choices. We've seen super technical orienteering. It's exactly the high level of course, of competition that you want to see on these Junior World Championships. we will be back then. Well, I won't be back because I've got to do my day job, but we'll have Holly Stodgel and Bruno Nazario taking you through the forest races coming up for the rest of the week. They'll make that transition into the forest, into the terrain. So do be back tomorrow. They've got a long old broadcast ahead of them, a load of fantastic competition to see who will take the next Junior World titles. And the Junior World Champs will continue tomorrow with a long race. We'll see you there.
And we see you. And Catherine, it was a big pleasure from my part to make the commentary together with you.
Oh, it was my pleasure. I really enjoyed my first ever Junior World Championships. Hopefully I will be back because it's such a fantastic competition, and enjoy the next few days.
All together along the streets of Cembra, the meantime Jonas with the flip-flops. I'm not sure if Jonas ran the course with the same shoes he's wearing now. Maybe not, but he's too happy for hearing my voice. I know that the mayor of Cembra would like to say something, so che il sindaco di Cembra vuole dire qualche cosa a tutti i presenti. Io credo di interpretare le sue parole, sapendo che vuole ringraziare, ma a nostra volta noi li ringraziamo per aver innanzitutto bloccato il traffico veicolare per 12 ore. Quest'oggi in Italia non è affatto facile. The cars have been stopped for 12 hours, so just try to imagine in Italy to stop the traffic for 12 hours in Cembra for the Junior World Championship in the 5 days. And the mayor of Alta Valle Municipality and the president of the Cembra Valley Community. I did names: Alessandra Terrazza, thank you, the mayor of Cembra Lesignano, the mayor of Alta Valle, Matteo Paolazzi, and the president of the community of Cembra Valley.